Okay. I don't know if you guys can hear me yet. You're about to. What's up, FP? How's it going, my man? It's been a while since I've done one of these. I'm getting all set up and ready to go. Trying to get something taken care of real quick. Let's see. Copy link. Got to pull up my stream real quick, and I got to drop a link in the pinned chat for you guys to be able to vote. Make sure everything's working good. Sweet. I appreciate you stopping by while you're multitasking. What? Sports awards? And I pin that. It's supposed to be pin. There we go. That is pinned and ready to go. I don't know why my logo. Oh, you know what? Because I'm on studio. That's why. Okay, let me see. I gotta check my wife's message. All right. Sorry about this, guys. I am trying to get everything. What's up, Dork Girl? How's it going? I got to make sure I keep track of all you fine, beautiful lads and lasses in chat. All right. Like I said, it's been a long time since I've done a let's grab a beer. And let's be honest, the reason why, and I know people could be like, you're talking about Sydney Sweeney, and that's like old news. Nobody's really talking about that anymore. Yeah, you're right. That is accurate. But you know what? I don't do this for the clicks and the views. I do this because it's an excuse for me to try a new beer and hang out with you guys and chat. And I discuss what I want to discuss. That's the way I view it. I totally understand if you guys are like, well, I don't care about Sydney Sweeney, but we still get to hang out and chat and have a good time together. So I appreciate you all being here. Oh, I forgot to repost that on live too. I want to do that real quick. Um, and then we'll get started. For those who are new here, Let's Grab a Beer is a podcast that I came up with a long time ago. I admittedly got a pretty stupid name for it. And I got to see I mean, it's too late for me. I mean, I guess it's never too late to rebrand, but I like it. We're gonna stick with it because I'm grabbing a beer, and the premise behind the series is like a group of friends hanging out at a bar, grabbing a beer together after a long day or week at work to discuss things, whether it's politics, um, culture, or just stuff in general. Um, the first bit of the stream is going to be me recording. I got a camera behind this camera, so you guys are on a webcam. There's another camera behind that. That's going to record the stream, and I upload the video after. And I'm actually gonna decided to break these down in segments. So every time I finish a topic, they'll be uploaded as Let's Grab a Beer shots. Um, I think they're not necessarily gonna be shorts because some will be as long as like 30 minutes long. Some will be as short as 10 minutes. It depends on what the topic is. That way, if you don't want to watch the entire episode, if you miss the live portion of it, you can catch the segment you actually care about the most. Or if you want to really support me and increase my viewing hours, you can watch the entire VOD after I edit it down. The only thing I edit out too is like, so the recording, I'm not recording right now. So all this will not be in the recorded video. And after the end of the recording, I do a call-in session where viewers can call in. We're going to do about 30 minutes of call in with any viewer that's in chat that wants to call in. They can either talk about any of the topics that we're talking about today, or they can pick a topic they want to talk about if they either want to pick my brain about it or just want to vent about it. I know it's gonna be a little harder to do it because it's a Tuesday at almost 1 o'clock in the afternoon, so a lot of you will probably not be able to call in, and that's perfectly fine. If we are able to get some callers in after the 30-minute mark, we'll go premium and do about an hour's worth of conversation if we have anybody part of the conversation at that point. The reason why I'm doing all this is because, like I said, it's kind of a therapeutic content for me. I'm not doing this for the views. I'm not doing this for the money. Yeah, when you're like, well, Conor, you're doing premium. Well, I'm also in the creator program, and I'm trying to do more creative premium content and not just premium content for the sake of doing premium content. For those who do give their hard earned cash towards premium or as a sub, you are able to get access to that premium content and make it worth your while instead of me just like gaming I game extra long and I make the extra long portion premium locked behind premium content. So this is one of the ways I have thought of to help make it more worth your time. You actually could be part of the conversation more. When I'm recording, I will not be reading chat. Um, I mean, I'll read chat, but I won't read it out loud. That's gonna be for the after the recording session of this. Let me go ahead and okay, and then we got that posted. All right, sorry. I'm talking to my wife at the same time. Now we got, and I apologize if you guys can hear my laptop. It is dying on me. Oh, I lost a clip to this. Luckily, there's a clip here. It is dying on me, so it's making a lot of noises. It's mainly the fan is making a lot of have me for 20 minutes. I appreciate it, Dork. Um, so we're gonna go ahead and get the recording set up. And oh, I also try a new beer. I don't do the mainstream beers. This is really gonna piss me off. I need to get a new laptop. I don't know. Can you guys hear that? That's what I listen to. And there's no way for me to get it to stop. I've taken it apart, tried to fix the fan. I can't get the fan to be fixed, and I still have to listen to that. Um, uh, but yeah, I find a beer that's not a mainstream beer is a smaller, like microbrewery. I guess not always a microbrewery because some of these breweries are bigger than others. Um, and I give it a rating 1 out of 6, 1 out of 6 because most of these come in holy. All right, we're back. I think you guys hear me. You see me? Oh, hey, the noise has stopped. I don't know if you guys exactly saw what happened, but the noise is in fact stopped. So we got that going for us. Hi, Ed. How you doing, buddy? I mean, it hasn't stopped. It's quiet down. Get all these damn pop-ups too. I punched my laptop. Dork is what I did. Fuck off. I need to uninstall Gilded, that pedophilic platform. Yes, I did what the percussive maintenance, what the Marines specialize in. Fuck off. I'm not claiming a Roblox account. And it somewhat worked. It froze up my laptop because it freaked it out when I did it. But we're back though. So you guys didn't miss anything. Just me restarting the computer. I do want that to open back up so I can maybe shut off the fans or at least reduce how much they turn on. That was not a Rumble issue, chat, by the way. I know a lot of people are upset about Rumble and all that other good jazz. That was 100% kind of eating the shit out of his laptop. Hopefully, the laptop will survive the rest of the stream after my little forced maintenance. But yeah, we go through these beers rated 1 out of 6, 6 being the highest because they come in 6 packs. So I figure that's the best way to rate them. And I do it at the end of the stream. I tell you guys what I think of it. And today's episode, well, we'll get into the recording. Now, like I said, we'll discuss the topics in the subject line. Once I'm done going through the topics, I'll open it up for callers and I'll get caught up on chat. If anybody wants to chime in, if anybody chimes in while I'm chatting, you'll be able to, and then I'll read through your chats and we'll discuss. Sound good? Sound good. We're going to go ahead and start the recording before this laptop dies on me. So here we go. Oh, before I start the recording, I need to put my banner up. Part of the reason why I haven't done any astrophotography streams in a while is because this laptop is on its last legs. So chill. There we go. So I haven't been doing, because I would be very pissed if I dedicate hours of photography with this laptop just to have it fail halfway through and I lose all that hard work. So and plus the weather has been kind of trash lately. A lot of clouds, a lot of rain. Kind of hard to take picture of space when there's clouds. All right, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Let's Grab a Beer. No, let's restart that because I can't see. Stupid mic thing I got. No, it's still going to cover it perfectly, isn't it? Yeah, it is. All right, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Let's Grab a Beer. It has been a while. For those who are new to this video series, I basically what I do is find a beer that is not mainstream beer. I know in Georgia at least, Terrapin is a big company, so it's not like it's unknown to anybody from the state of Georgia, but it may not be known to the rest of the country or the world. So, what's up, Fat Steven? Sorry, I actually shouldn't have done that. I'll explain why in a second. So I try out these beers and I give it a rating out of 1 out of 6, 6 being the best because they come in 6 packs, and I'll let you know why I like them. That's the end of the episode. The premise behind this episode is that it's like a group of friends hanging out at a bar, grabbing a beer after a long day at work or a long week, and just discussing everything from politics, culture, or just anything in general. So that's what we're going to be doing today. And the topics we got several topics. Right now, I'm actually currently live, as that's why I said hi to Fat Steven. Steven being one of my favorite guys to collab with, a lot of fun to hang out with. We have good laughs, good time. He puts up with my BS, so I appreciate that. Normally, what I do when I'm recording, though, during the recording portion, which is what you guys are seeing right now, is I do not respond to chat. I do read the chat, but I try not to respond to chat because it's supposed to be, I'm trying to do the recording through here. And after I finish the recording, I go through all the chats and get caught up on sorry, Steven just ranted and it made me chuckle a little bit. I appreciate it, Steven. And so we get through the topics of the recording, we end the recording, I get caught up in chat, hang out with people in chat, and then I invite people to call in through Rumble Studios to discuss either the topics I have up available. They don't have to discuss all the topics or any of the topics at all. They may bring up something else they want to talk about, or they're curious what my opinion is on. So that's how this all works. And actually, something I'm going to change up. Normally, what I do is I don't edit these videos at all. The most I do is my camera can only record for every 30 minutes, and after 30 minutes, it stops recording on its own. So there's like little jumps there when that happens. I try to catch it before it stops on its own so I can actually have a good segue to the end of the recording. But also, what I'm going to start doing is I'm going to stop the recording after each topic, because I'm going to start breaking these down into shorter clips to make it more digestible, because a lot of these episodes go really long. They go to 2 to 3 hours long. So if I break these down for the topics that people actually care about, like some people might be here for the when I'm talking about the National Guard being used to fight crime. They might be here for the Sydney Sweeney topic. They might be here for the view botting topic. They might be here for the DreamHack topic. That's right. That's all my topics, right? Right. They might be here for the Wet Awards. Who knows? But or they might be for the whole thing. So there'll be the live version where they can watch the whole thing, where I talk to the chat before I start recording. And then talk to the chat for a little bit before I stop. Or actually, you won't be able to see when I. Yeah, the live version, you'll be able to see me talk to the chat after I stop recording. They may not care about me engaging with chat, so they get to see the recorded version where they just go through all the topics. And now they'll have what will be called Let's Grab a Beer shots instead of shorts, because they're not really going to be shorts, because they can probably be as long as 30 minutes to 45 minutes to an hour to 10, or to hopefully won't be an hour, to 10 to 15 minutes. That way people can see just the clips they want to see, and makes it more diverse, and actually keeps my channel going too, because on this channel I don't create as much. The whole premise behind Let's Grab a Beer is not really so I get views and make money or anything like that. It's like my own personal therapy, and it's an excuse for me to drink. In this case, day drink. I mean, I always need an excuse to drink, right? And hang out with people that I like, and hang out. And if I make money along the way, fine, I make money along the way. So that is Let's Grab a Beer in a nutshell. I have ranted on long enough, so what we're going to do is go through the topic recap and talk about what we're going to. Well, first we're going to mention the beer of the day, and this is unscripted, by the way, if you couldn't tell. We'll be trying out Terrapin Beer Company in Athens, Georgia. Watermelon Goose. Ghost? Because isn't Goose like two O's? Now I feel like I'm retarded. I mean, I am retarded. Um, by the way, I am streaming on the other platforms. I normally don't do this for Let's Grab a Beer anymore because they don't do well on the other platforms. And I am very much at risk at being banned on those platforms, considering what I talk about and how I talk about it. At this point, I don't give a shit. If I get banned, I get banned. That just shows how shitty and how one-sided these platforms on. And I think we all know who we talk about. But anyway, this is Watermelon Goose. It is a malt beverage brewed with natural flavors and with natural flavor added. So hopefully it's all natural. Never need an excuse to day drink. Absolutely Joe Cool. So we're going to go and pour this in the Let's Grab a Beer official pint glass. You can get yours. Actually, I did not provide the link to my merch store. If somebody in my fine chat can go to one of my stream from last night and grab the link to the merch store and drop that link in chat for me, that'd be greatly appreciated. If not, that's no big deal. I'll survive. Oh, one of the things that influences the rating of the beer is how many I get through in an episode. If I get through the whole pack, that means I absolutely like it. And I talk about refreshingness, how refreshing it is, and what I think it would go well, like burgers, steak, chicken, stuff like that. I'm not a connoisseur by any means. I am just a simpleton that likes a good beer. So I'm not going to get all fancy with the rating on this at all. So we're going to go ahead and give the initial impressions, and then I'm going to go through the topics we'll be talking about today. Then I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording and then start the recording for the first topic. That way, again, for those who just care about the specific topics and we talk about, don't have to watch the entire thing to be able to see what I'm talking about. So here we go. I have lady hands, Joe Cool. I have lady hands. It might be a little bigger than a pint. I think it's 16 ounces. But initial impressions. Oh, Gusa, a traditional German style beer brewed with sea salt and coriander. Okay. I missed that on the back. I'm gonna let you guys check that out. I don't know if it will show up very well on camera or not. For those who are watching on first impressions, it's actually a lot sourer than I thought it was going to be. I'm not quite familiar with coriander. My wife and I have both cooked with it before, but I haven't actually tasted raw coriander, so I'm not really sure what the taste alone. This might be part of the malt. No, the sour. I don't know what the sour's coming from. Maybe it is the coriander. And I'm also realizing I'm drinking on an empty stomach. This is not good because shortly after I get done with this episode, I'll be going live to do War Thunder for a bit, and I'll be joining FP, who was in chat earlier. So if you guys are not following FP, if you're watching live, click the icon next to his name, drop and follow. Same with Joe Cool, Fast Steven, and Dork Girl. Make sure you click all their icons. I probably shouldn't be. I'd say, you know what? Fuck it. Like I said, I'm supposed to be at at a bar, chilling, hang out with people and talking. So this is my show. I'll do what I want. I'm grown. But the sour actually caught me off guard. It's actually very smooth. It goes down soft. I don't soft. That maybe that's not the correct term. It goes down smooth, and then it has like an aftertaste of watermelon, like a watermelon Jolly Rancher, which I kind of dig. I am gonna have to take this slow because I just realized I have an empty stomach, and I would like to be able to not be completely inebriated when I go gaming tonight. But and I'm gonna leave one can for my wife. Actually, I might leave a couple. I think she's gonna absolutely love this one. I think she loves sour beers. And see, that's another thing I wanted to mention about the Grab a Beer episodes. I'm going to start traveling again very soon. Like in October, I'll be heading up to Maine to get my grandfather's boat, and we're going to be making stops along the way. So I'll be probably grabbing local beers from wherever I stop when I can. So to feature in the episode, because it's going to suck for those of you who drink beer and would like to try some of these. It's going to be pretty difficult to find these in different state or in your state. Terrapin, I know, is a little broader than just Georgia. I think I've seen them outside of Georgia a few times, probably mainly in the neighboring states. It's pretty good though. I'm actually really enjoying this one, and I think it's going to be an issue because I'm going to down it pretty quick. I went down for a friend's retirement ceremony in April, and I grabbed a Florida beer. And I'm not realizing I've actually had that Florida beer. One of the benefits I have is I have what's called the Class 6 or Shop Pet on base, and they have beers from all around the country at that Class 6. They do primarily feature Georgia beers because, I mean, we're in the state of Georgia. Um, so I can try other beers from the States. Not a lot, but a lot more than a lot of people too. I know there's a alcohol company in California that will ship beers and stuff, so you might be able to find some of these beers here at that place. The only thing is expensive as hell because Georgia or Florida, California taxes the crap out of their sales, and their shipping is expensive at the same time. So keep that in mind too. If you because like this cost me, I don't remember what this cost me. I bought it so long ago. This has actually been sitting in my fridge for about a month now. Honestly, what inspires me to do an episode, I find a beer I'm interested in, take it home. I'm like, I need to do an episode. Then I have to find topics I'm somewhat, slightly, or mostly interested in to talk about. And then I schedule the episode. So this episode's been a month in the making, more so because of the beer, not so much because of the topics. And that's why, like I said, I'm behind. Like, I know the Sydney Sweeney stuff has pretty much died off. But all right, so the topics we're going to talk about today's episode, we're going to talk about, first of all, Donald Trump using the National Guard, potentially not in just DC, but other crime-ridden cities. And what my opinion and thought on that is, I don't know if I always say I don't think I'm going to spend a lot of time talking about certain topics, and I end up going like an hour long. I mean, this intro is supposed to be an intro, and they're supposed to be short, and we're what, already 11 minutes in to the intro, so it's not that short. And then after we talk about Trump using the National Guard and some of the people's reactions to that, and my thoughts on that, we're going to go talk about Sydney Sweeney, not just her American Eagle ad, but also some hypocritical things I've seen by certain audiences concerning her bath water soap by Dr. Squatch, which I used to love Dr. Squatch, still do. The only reason why I switched off is I found Duke Cannon, which I love their ads. I haven't seen them in a while. They were very based ads, and it's by a veteran. So they their proceeds support veteran causes. So that's why I switched to Dukes. It's the only reason why I switched to Dukes. I still stand by Dr. Squatch. I think they're pretty based as well, and I loved their products when I was using them. Neither of which sponsor me, by the way. Just talk about it, keeping it keeping it real, as the kids say. Actually, I don't think the kids say that anymore. And after that, we're going to talk about, what was my next topic after? I don't even remember what I wrote down. Oh, view botting. I know quite a few people in chat are mainly excited for that one as well. There's a reason why I did this in this particular order. I did the political stuff, then the culture / political stuff, and then it moves into the streaming sphere. And then from the streaming sphere, we get to the Get Wet Awards, which is um, more of the streaming content creation sphere, and then we're going to end on DreamHack. So it's supposed to have a nice little flow and segue into each other. So hopefully, none of this is scripted. So I'm just kind of going with it. Did my stream freeze? Oh no, it's frozen on my end. Let me know if the stream is having any issues, guys. So that's how it's going to flow from here. And then after that, like I said, after we talk about view botting, which again, I think majority of the people that are going to be watching this right now, at least in the live portion, are more interested in the view botting segment. Um, I I think, and I'm hopefully this won't just. I care and I don't care, and I'll explain that more so when we get to that segment. And hopefully it makes sense what I'm going to try. Hopefully I'm not too inebriated by the time I get to that point too. That's deep into the conversation. And after that is the Get Wet Awards. This one's not really a big deal. It's just something, as you guys can see, you guys can vote for me. We'll get into that a little bit more. Link in the pinned message right now. For the live portion. By the time you guys see this upload, the voting will probably be over. But it's also going to give me opportunity to talk about the pretty awesome organization that is um, Get Wet Sports. And then we're going to talk about DreamHack. I believe that's the last one we're going to talk about. Yes, that is DreamHack. And mainly, I'm just going to be talking about what my plans are for when I'm going to be there, what I'm going to do while I'm out there. I know there's a lot of people excited about meeting me at DreamHack Atlanta. I'm super excited about meeting you guys too. I'm going to be absolutely honest too. You know what? We got to wait for the DreamHack segment. I love to like cheat Need 4K webcam. It's my Wi-Fi, Joe Cool or Junior. It's my sorry, Joe Cool's in here. It's my Wi-Fi. I'm on my deck with a Wi-Fi, and it's not that strong out here. Plus, this laptop sucks, so that's why the quality in the webcam looks so trash. When the video I upload comes out, I promise it'll look a lot better. Fairly certain this is a 2K webcam. It's a Logitech Brio, Brio 500. Yeah, Brio 500. It's a pretty awesome camera. It works fantastic when I'm inside and on hardline into the internet. But yeah, those are the topics we're talking about. I'm gonna go ahead and stop the recording now, so that way we can get hopefully uninterrupted topics in the next topic about Trump using the National Guard. So give me 1 second to stop the recording. I need like a remote so I can stop the recording from here. Stop the recording and start it back up, and then we'll get into it. I could technically use my phone. Hold. Is that gonna work? No, we're not gonna do that. So I'll be right back. All right. We're back, and we're going to go ahead and get into the topic of Donald Trump using the National Guard to fight crime. To kind of get right into it, I mostly am okay with him doing this in the crime-ridden cities in our country. Mostly okay. I have reservations. It's always it always makes me nervous when something like this happens. However, to be fully honest, I wish Trump did something like this during the BLM riots of 2019 or 2020, 2021, how long that shit went on. I really wish he got more involved with that. I understand why he didn't because of what is exactly happened now. They're calling him a fascist dictator, using his authoritarian regime to take control of his opposition. That's exactly what they're painting this as, and I'm sure that's what he's trying to avoid during the BLM riots. I wish he did it anyway. And I'm mostly happy that he's doing it now to fight the crimes. I don't know if he's actually mobilized them as of right now. It's August 26th at about 1:10 as of recording this video. I don't know if he's mobilized them into Chicago. I know Chicago is one of the main ones he's looking at. I like what he's done in DC, minus the fact of them arresting people carrying guns. And I know you guys would be like, well, he's mainly going for the gangbangers with guns. No, as far as I understand, if you're carrying a gun illegally in the District of Columbia in DC, you're getting arrested for it. I'm not okay with that. I'm a 2A absolutist. I really am, for the most part. I don't believe illegal immigrants should be allowed access to our weapons or firearms because they're not American citizens. And I firmly believe that most that are criminal aliens are enemies of the country. Most of them, not all of them, most of them are enemies. They're a cartel. They're either Chinese backed, they're either Hezbollah or Hamas backed. So I am not okay with them being armed because will be allowed to purchase weapons in our country because they are essentially being armed and they are enemies. Barack Obama, who keeps talking about how he's so pro gun control. You guys don't know about Fast and Furious. I highly recommend not the movie, not the conspiracy, either the scandal of Fast and the Furious when they were taking weapons from the U.S. and giving it to the cartels. I highly recommend you guys check that crap out as well. So I'm not in favor of arming our enemies. And I know people are like, well, then you're not 2A absolutist. You know what? I might not be a 2A absolutist because I have that stance. Don't care. Really, 100% do not care because I am totally against supporting our enemies in any way, shape, or form. And if you're entering this country illegally, now there's varying degrees of being our enemy. If you're entering this country illegally, as far as I'm concerned, you're an enemy of the country. You might just be like a petty crime enemy, like if that makes sense for people the average person just trying to get into the country, or not average person, but the person that's just trying to get into the country and doesn't care about anything else. But you're a drain of our resources, you're draining on our funds, you're draining on you're draining on society, you're draining on a lot of stuff as far as I'm concerned. If then there's obviously the higher levels like the cartels, the actual terrorist organizations and stuff like that, and the Chinese backed organizations. Those are obviously full fledged, I would say, war criminals, enemies, like constitutes declaration of war. I'm not advocating that we declare war. Just I hope you're getting what I'm trying to say. There, like to me, there's varying degrees of enemies of the country for entering the country illegally, which has nothing to do with the topic I'm talking about with the National Guard. But the point I'm trying to say is like I don't like that Trump is disarming people in DC. I think DC does need to be a carry state or a district. I guess they're not a state. I do like that they he has sped up the process of getting people's permits cleared through. That's awesome to hear. But the fact that they have to get a permit in the first place is not okay with me. I heard there's rumors that he is also working, not his administration. I won't say him personally. His administration is working on making it so they will honor other carry licenses, like from the state of Georgia doesn't really have a state carry license anymore. We're constitutional carry, as all states should be, by the way. Um, so I do like that stuff. I remember it was the Ottoman Empire, and the Freedom Otter show. He had made a tweet about somebody calling for a ban of assault weapons, and he mentioned something about like fuck you, you're not taking over, you're not banning shit, and the person is like, your god Trump is admitted himself he doesn't have to abide by the Constitution, and like I don't honestly don't 100% know where the Frito Otter show stands on Trump. I'm gonna assume he's like most of us, where we love most of what Trump is doing, but there's definitely things we're not okay with. Epstein list, not okay with what he's doing. The Epstein list, and how he's still. I haven't forgotten. Hopefully, you guys haven't forgotten either. Hopefully, he hasn't brushed that. No, I know he's trying to brush that under the rug, but we should definitely not let him do that. I do not like his stance on the 2A. He's not perfect on that. He has done a lot more than any other president in my lifetime, at least, to be pro 2A. But at the same time, he's done some anti 2A stuff like the bump stock ban. um, we're still not talking about the National Guard and fighting crime. The fact that the mayor of DC and the police department is failing to do their job to stop these bands of criminals beating and attacking and robbing and murdering people in DC is why I believe Trump should be allowed to use the National Guard to do it. The fact that places like Chicago, like they're more worried about defending the criminals than their own people, and that's what my issue is. That's why I'm okay with Trump using the National Guard. Part of me hopes he does, and I just hope he doesn't go full retard with it. I really hope he doesn't go full retard with it. That's always an issue with me is Trump going, anybody, not just Trump, any person in office going full retard with something like using the National Guard to fight crime, because you can easily transition into something else. And I don't want the country to become a police state. I do want things to get under control. I do want the Democrats to start paying the price for allowing these things to get as bad as they've gotten. I hope Trump moves into. I love that Trump used the National Guard to stop the riots in LA and all that for the illegal immigration stuff. It seems like that has calmed down. I don't know if it's fully calmed down or not. I do support that stuff, but I hope that when that like these things get under control, Trump pulls the National Guard out and lets the state do what they're supposed to do. And the state continue, if the mayor of Chicago and the governor of Illinois still refuses, and governor of California and the mayor of LA still refuse to enforce laws and protect their citizens from violent criminals, that I absolutely fully support Trump arresting them. Because at this point, they're aiding and abetting criminals, as far as I'm concerned. And if you guys think I'm out of line for that, let me know. I would love to know in chat if you guys think I'm out of line for that. But if Trump gets things under control, and it does look like that the local authorities and the politicians of that state/city are doing what they're supposed to do, then Trump should absolutely back off of the National Guard and let them do what they're supposed to do. But if they continue to refuse, the people that are enabling this should be held accountable and should absolutely be arrested for it on federal charges. And I'm sure I'm going to be called an authoritarian fascist. First of all, I'm not a libertarian, like a real libertarian, like not the fake libertarians that claim to be liberals. I'm not like an anarchist that the government we should be able to govern ourselves or anything like that. I don't. I am, for the most part, and conservative. So I do believe there should be a rule of law, and I do believe people should be held accountable for their actions. So I also believe the government works for us. We don't work for them. That's another stance I have for that as well. And politicians need to be fired. My laptop is getting loud again. Um, so I'm curious what you guys think. Do you think Trump is doing the right thing by getting the National Guard involved to stop crime in these heavy crime cities? These people, one of my favorite things I saw about this whole topic too, this woman, apparently she's been crying for this for years. She had her arm broken in a carjacking, and she says, I've had my arm broken in a carjacking, and I don't support Trump bringing his thugs in the state. Like, fuck off, bitch. You know what? You deserve everything you get to, and I will not feel bad. I don't want her killed. Let me stress that before somebody like misquotes me or takes me out of context. I don't want her killed, but I will not feel bad if she ends up losing her home or her car or losing something else because she keeps defending these morons. She has admitted that the judicial system is the problem because they keep letting these criminals go, but here's where she's retarded in my opinion. um, if your judicial system's broke and they're letting these criminals go after the police department arrests them, well, what's the next step? Get the federal government involved. The judicial system in your local area will not be able to overrule the federal government in that regard. So now these criminals that are getting arrested will not be let go. I don't know why you don't understand that. It's TDS to the max. Like I'd rather be in danger and for the rest of my life than worry about than give Trump a win. That's what these morons and people are getting hurt and killed for it. And the sad thing is, there are people in Chicago, Illinois, LA, California that want to be safe again. They don't want criminals running through. They don't want to worry about leaving. What is it they're saying? Leave your car unlocked and let them just no. I get sick of people being like, um, you value your material possessions more than somebody's life. No, that person values their life or my material possessions more than their life. Because you know what? At the end of the day, I don't know what you guys are gonna do. You trying to come into my house, my car with force, and I'm there, or more importantly, my wife is there. I don't give a shit what you might be carrying a water pistol. You might be carrying a wooden gun for all I care. If you give me a hint that my wife is in any danger, I'm going to do everything I need to do to defend her. And if I find out after the fact you were just carrying a wooden gun to scare me or doing a finger pistol underneath a bag or something to scare me, that's on you for being that stupid. You play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. Am I gonna sleep at night? I would love to say no. I'm not. I'm not gonna act like this absolute badass that thinking if I kill somebody, I'm gonna be able to sleep at night without any problems. At the end of the day, I'm gonna still relive the fact that my wife was traumatized and her was like um, went through that situation, and then the fact that I had to take somebody's life. I'll definitely get over it a lot quicker knowing that this person's a dirtbag than I would if I killed an innocent person. That's for sure. But I would be lying if I say I wouldn't struggle with that at all. So to summarize that topic, because honestly, I think you guys hopefully got my point. I think Trump is in the right for using the National Guard as long as he's doing it for the intended purpose he has stated to get crime under control in these cities, and then allows the local politicians and law enforcement to do what their job now that they got a foothold on things again, and backs off at that. And then telling like the local politicians, like, hey, we cleaned up your streets for you. These criminals are not here threatening your people anymore. But if you continue to let these people get away with what they're doing, essentially a lot of them get away with murder, we will come for you next. We will arrest the mayor. We will arrest the DA. We will arrest the judges. We will arrest the prosecutors. And we will arrest the governor if it need be. And you guys, again, maybe think that's an authoritarian position. No, because then if you continue, if these people I just listed continue to allow these criminals to do what they are doing, and let them walk free for whatever BS reason, because it's not fair because they're black, then it's not fair because they're being prosecuted for being an immigrant. I don't give a shit. If they're harming American citizens and you're allowing them to continue to harm American citizens, whether it's their way of life or physically or any other way, you are aiding and abetting a criminal, and you absolutely should be arrested for that. Just like any other citizen that would be hiding a criminal from, like, let's say, we'll go extreme. Let's say somebody murdered somebody without self-defense, like they had they just murdered him for the sake of murdering him because they didn't like how they looked at him, and I kept him hidden in my basement and would refuse to let law enforcement into my house to arrest this person. I absolutely should be arrested for aiding and abetting a criminal. Or there's probably a more severe crime that I would be charged with at that point, accessory to murder or something like that. I don't know the laws in and out, but I'm trying to prove a point that like you should be charged with a law equivalent to what you're doing by protecting these criminals and not defending, doing your duty. Again, you work for us. We do not work for you. Doing your duty to protect the American citizens. And as far as I'm concerned, as of right now, hopefully I'll never get disproven. Trump is doing his job by protecting the American citizens. What we elected him to do. Is he perfect? No. Again, Epstein list, big issue with that. The whole Epstein situation, that is a huge issue with that with me. That is a huge red flag. I am very upset with that. Some of his stances in the 2A, absolutely disgusted by that. I do not like what he's doing with that stuff. However, I will at the same time acknowledge he's been the most pro 2A, anti 2A president I've ever seen in my life. And that may not make sense because, again, I'm taking into consideration the bump stock ban. He's made some comments about banning assault weapons in the past. I believe there's some other policies he's done that aren't very 2A friendly. But at the same time, his Supreme Court has done more for the 2A community than anything else. A lot of these pro 2A organizations have won a lot of lawsuits under him. And like I said, for example, DC, their permits are getting processed a lot faster. Again, against the fact that they have to have a permit in the first place, and that other outside permits are not recognized in DC. I'm against all that. But the point I'm trying to make is despite not being a very 2A friendly president, he's done a lot more for the 2A community than any other president. And if you guys disagree with me, definitely let me know in the comments. I do not think he's God. I don't think he's the best thing since sliced bread. I just think he's doing a phenomenal job compared to the shit we've had the past 16 plus years. I mean, even George Bush. I was young and dumb. I was just caught up in the whole 9/11 stuff back then. So I admittedly did vote for George Bush both times. No, not both times. The first time I was too young. The second time I voted for him. Um, but George, I think he's a far better president than George Bush is, as far as I'm concerned. Again, you guys can correct me if I'm wrong. I hate that what he's doing with Ukraine too. I hate that he's still giving them money and weapons. I despise that. We should cut Ukraine off totally, in my opinion. But all right, that's enough about the President Trump conversation. We're gonna move on to Sydney Sweeney. So let me go ahead and stop the recording real quick to segue into the next segment of Sydney Sweeney. Another thing about me, again, not being scripted, there is no easy, smooth segue, even no matter how I line up the topics. These just go how I want them to go because this is more about therapy and talking and ranting and venting and engaging with my chat when I have the opportunity to do so. So we're going to go ahead and talk about Sydney Sweeney next. Be right back, guys. All right. I had to clear my throat. Unfortunately, I don't know if I developed an allergy for beer or beer is just being made with something in it that I'm allergic to now that it wasn't made when I was younger. I don't know. Getting old sucks though, in case you guys didn't know that. And I agree with you, Junior. 100% 2A for American citizens only. I agree. And this is not about Sydney Sweeney, but a little since Junior said this. I will say this though, a lot of people. I used to be on the pro. If you've been arrested for serious crimes, you should not be allowed to carry a gun. But the more I've thought about it, if we deem this person safe enough to be in society because they've been rehabilitated or they've done their time, then why would they not be allowed to carry a firearm? If we think that person's so dangerous that they shouldn't be allowed to carry a firearm, they should just still be behind bars and we shouldn't be letting them roam the streets. That's how 2A I am. Actually, I'm so 2A, I'll say like, if the government can own nukes, we can own nukes. Doesn't mean we have to make them affordable because they're expensive for the government. So why should it be cheap for us? Wait till you're 55. Thank you, Junior. I appreciate it. I'm super excited about that. Thank you for that. Give me something to look forward to. Full auto. By the way, you can buy tanks. DriveTanks.com will help you through the process of buying like a Leopard tank. Leopard A1, I think it is. I can't remember what it is. And I think you can buy a Chieftain. It's been a while since I looked at their website. And I would absolutely love to do a meetup with a bunch of rumblers at a place like Drive Tanks and do some shooting. Maybe even could somehow work it so we can meet up with Brendan Herrera and Donut Operator. We're getting off topic. Noisy bird. My neck hurts. The next topic is gonna be about Sydney Sweeney. That was sexy as fuck. Sorry. I know you're being sarcastic, Junior. I'm just giving you a hard time. The next topic we're gonna talk about is Sydney Sweeney, and I don't really want to get into the white nationalism, Nazi propaganda bullshit that they keep saying that American Eagle just did by saying Sydney Sweeney has great genes, that we're saying she's the Aryan nation reincarnated or something bullshit like that. Because obviously they're fucking retarded. For if I remember correctly, American Eagle did something similar with like Beyonce a long time ago, and nobody gave a shit back then when they did it. Well, let's be face it. So my personal opinion, and this is not to be mean to Sydney Sweeney at all. This I actually, as far as what I've learned of her as a person, I don't care. I'm not talking about physical traits. As a person, I think she's a pretty fantastic woman. Um, honestly don't know where she stands politically, and I think that's the way it should be for Hollywood. I should not know where they stand politically. I don't give a shit where they stand politically. You're supposed to be entertaining me. So as of right now, and I'm sure she's probably said and done some things that give hints to her political stances, but I've heard rumors she voted for a Republican in the last election. I don't care. She's not actively promoting her bullshit. The reason why people know she supposedly voted Republican is some people dug dirt up on her because of this American Eagle ad. So it, but that's not my focus about Sydney Sweeney. It's actually something much older than that. This happened last year, I think. I can't remember when the Sydney Sweeney bathwater stuff came out. I saw a post by Matt Reith about him commenting about people going after Sydney Sweeney about the bathwater stuff, and was it Daily Wire or Daily Mail? Daily Mail. Sorry, not the Daily Wire. The Daily Mail said that he is a canceled comedian. By the way, I don't know what you guys' opinions are. Matt Rife. My wife and I enjoy him. I think he's hilarious. I love how brutal he is, even if I don't agree with everything he says. Funny how that can work. Um, I I love how they called him canceled, because as far as I know, he sells out everywhere he goes. So that's far from being canceled. That's like the complete opposite of being canceled. But anyway, that's not the point. We're not here to talk about Matt Rife. And then I also saw a comment in response, I believe, to the Matt Rife thing, saying that Sydney Sweeney has set feminism and women back 100 years because of her bathwater bullshit. I'm paraphrased that a little bit. I don't think I would show that post, but I don't think it exists anymore. I think the person got roasted so bad they deleted it. Um, Feminism is set back. Women in feminism is set back 100 years because Sydney Sweeney partnered with a soap company to sell bathwater soap that admittedly a very depressing number of men have bought. Shame on you if you did that. There's something wrong with you. Anyway, that's I don't have a problem with Sydney Sweeney doing it. I have no problem with Dr. Squatch doing it or selling it. I do have a problem with the amount of men that bought. Now, if you did it unironically, not a problem. If you did it because you're that much of a simp, there's something wrong with you. I'm sorry. There's absolutely something wrong with you. But the criticism, the hypocrisy from women like that person, it was supposedly a woman. As Noob says, women aren't real on the internet. Supposedly a woman saying that she set women back 100 years because she sold bathwater soap, but seems to be okay with all these titty streamers and these OnlyFans creators, that somehow that's empowering for women. It's like, you guys are I know there's a few women watching. I know Dork was in here earlier specifically. And so don't think I'm asking you this personally. I'm asking women as a whole. Are you guys really that fucking retarded that you think you're empowered by doing pornography on the internet, giving men exactly what they want? Something you guys have been bitching about since I was a little kid, about how the patriarchy and womenizing and misogyny and all that bullshit is. So you're now, instead of fighting it, you're embracing it, because that is the biggest of all hypocrisy. The reason why so many women are doing it now is not because it's empowering. It's doing it because it's making them the cash. That's why Twitch doesn't fully ban people to flash their hoo-ha on stream. That's why Twitch doesn't ban people that do nipple slips. That's not why Twitch bans near naked women on the stream, because they know it makes them the money. When Twitch claims to be a champion of women, when in reality is a bunch of horny, perverted, disgusting old men behind a keyboard jacking off to the streamers that they're protecting. They do the 3-day ban because they know it's enough to get the rest of the simpletons to shut up and stop complaining about it, and then they let them back on the platform. And then these women have the audacity to come back and say it is the patriarchy, it's the misogyny, it's the womenizing, it's the objectifying. You bitches are doing it to yourselves at this point. I do not feel bad for women that are intentionally putting themselves out there and getting what they get. I don't. I'm not saying um like I'm advocating for violent crimes to be taken care of. I don't want that. What I'm saying is, like, I get a pig in my DM talking about how he masturbates to me all the time. Your tits are hanging out. You know exactly what you're doing when you're hanging your tits out. A lot of you women that do this don't have the charisma or the personality to entertain people in your stream. I'm not one. I'm one to talk. I don't have the charisma or the personality to entertain people. That's why I'm struggling to find creative ways to bring people into my streams and into my content. Is because I know I don't have it and I acknowledge it, but I'm not like shaking my ass on. I used to, and I stopped. I'm not shaking my ass on camera anymore. Wait, let me pause. I don't mean I'm twerking on camera. Fuck. There was that one time. Gaming Chad. It's his fault. I'm not doing it for sexually doing it. I did it ironic. You know what? Fuck it. Call me a hypocrite too. Yes, I have twerked on camera before. Watch the content and figure out the context behind it and go from there. But and I'm not actually mad at. So let me also clarify. I'm not mad at the women that do it, knowing that they're getting the views and the money out of it, because they're just doing it to get the money and the views. Do I agree with how they do it? No, don't. A little jealous about how easy it is for them to gain notoriety and make money off it. Yeah, admittedly, because it takes a lot more work to be more original, creative, and funny without shaking a sexually explicit content on screen. Um, what I'm mad at, I want to be very, very clear about this. I'm not mad at the women that do it and just do it to do it. I'm mad at the women that do it and then bitch and moan about being sexually objectified. That is the difference of what I'm trying to say. Again, I don't agree with anybody doing that, taking advantage of stuff like very lonely people, regardless if it's men or women. I don't. I do not appreciate that at all. I'm not a perfect man. I'm not going to act like I'm innocent. I've made it very clear. I've had a very sketchy past that I'm not proud of, and I'm not hiding that from anybody. But the difference is, I am trying to learn from that past and be a better person as it. Whereas these women will bitch and moan about how they're being objectified, and then continue to do OnlyFans, continue to have nipple cups on stream, continue to do the body painting streams, and then they have the balls to go after somebody like Sydney Sweeney. I forgot to say, like, I said this is not to be mean to Sydney Sweeney. She has a great body. I'm not going to deny that at all. She has an average face. That doesn't mean she's not beautiful. She's not the hottest thing in the world when it comes to the face. And to me, that's important when I say if somebody's hot, because 99.9% of the time, unless they are a porn star, the most thing you're going to see of a woman is their face. Like, I love my wife. She's very beautiful to me. It's not because I see her naked all the time. It's because 90% of the time I see my wife, she's fully clothed. All I see is her face. She has a beautiful face. That's important to me. I mean, it's not that's more important to me than what she looks like naked. As far as it comes to physical attraction, the most important thing is her personality and how we mesh together as a husband and wife. That's where I'm going with that too. So like Sydney, she is a beautiful young woman. She's average. I don't want to say mid because people say mid to be insulting. She's average in looks when it comes to her face. As far as I know from her personality, I think she's an incredible person. I think she's very base. She's very honest. Maybe she's lying. Hopefully she's not, because she is an actor. Actors are paid to act. Um, so that's what I find more attractive about her, is her face and her personality. Yes, would I be a lie? My wife knows this already. She has a very attractive body, and she has two specific reasons where she's very attractive and why so many men swoon over her or goon over her, whatever you want to call it. But she's just being her, and some of the nastiest people to her that I've seen have been women. Like, you women talk about supporting and empowering each other, and then you go attack each other in the most nastiest ways for whatever reason, whether it's because you think she's being a Nazi white nationalist, or you think she's objectifying women and sending them back 100 years because she sold Bass soap. Like, holy fuck. Make up your damn minds, women. Like, my wife has even admitted the meanest people she's met in her life that's been meaner to her have been other women. Yes, men are not perfect. There are pigs. There are disgusting men out there. That's why a lot of these women are doing OnlyFans. A lot of these women are shaking their asses on gaming streams where kids are on it, and yet it's still being defended. So men are not innocent in this. So don't think I'm defending men at all. It's just like, I see more men calling out other men than I see women calling out other women. Do they exist? Yes. Like, calling out women justifiably and hypocritically. That's what I should stress. Because again, I just talked about a woman calling out Sydney Sweeney for sending women back 100 years for selling bath soap, but yet she will not say anything about the women selling OnlyFans or getting mostly naked on gaming streams. She won't call them out. She'll just call out Sydney Sweeney because it's the cool hip thing to do right now. And Dork, again, I don't normally read Twitch. Dork made a point that my sister and my wife have made many times. Both my sister, my younger sister, and my wife have said they find they get along with guys a lot better than women because women are nasty. You guys play psychological warfare. You may not get physical, but you mess with the brain, you mess with the head, you mess with the mind. And if you don't like somebody, you like a guy could piss me off. I'm not gonna say his name. There's a streamer a long time ago that pissed me off because they lied a lot and they tried to create drama through their lies and then continue to deny it over and over despite being empirically proven that they lied. Like, there's hard evidence that they lied. um I'm not out there to burn this guy's career down. I'm not. You don't see you, except for right now, because using him as an example. You don't see me going out there tweeting nonstop to bring him down. I have no clue how well he's doing in his content. He might be doing better than me for all I care. I don't care. I'm not going to go out and burn him down. I'm not going to play psychological games because he slighted me this one time. Average man, not the soy boys. The average man will get slighted by another man. They'll do what they need to do, the right, the wrong, and then they move on. You women, from my experience and from what I've heard from my wife and my sister, and actually some other good female friends, you women will not let that shit go. You will hang on to that and you will do everything you can to bring that person down. Even if you think you've drove them 6 feet under, you will continue to do what you can to drive them down. And that's what gets me about this whole Sydney Sweeney stuff. A lot of people bitching about the American Eagle ads are other women, most of the time not very attractive women. So it's probably coming from a side of jealousy. But like, the ad was funny. It was funny. I don't recommend it for young kids. It's a little inappropriate for family audiences, but it was funny. She has good genes, and and they're GEANS. Hopefully, I spelled that right because I am retarded. Not GENES. She has good genetics. She has good clothing, good genes, good uh, taste in clothing. That was the whole point of it, and that's not the first time American Eagle has done that. But they care because she's blonde haired. I don't know if she's blue eyed. I honestly don't know if she's blue eyed or not, but she's blonde. I don't even know if she's a natural blonde, to be honest. Uh, but people are upset because she's a white girl, and it's Trump's America now, so we have to be Nazism. We have to do this, and most of it is white women too. There are a couple black women I've seen complain about this, but there are a couple white women that are a couple black women that are upset about this whole thing, and it just blows my mind. You women, not again. This is a generalized comment about women. I'm not talking about the women in my chat right now because I just saw Arwen in my chat. How's it going, Arwen? Um, like, the women online that keep talking about championing feminism, empowering women, and supporting the queens out there. You will do that in one breath on the inhale, and then on the exhale, you're roasting that same woman as much as physically possible for whatever reason you feel slighted by that woman. And it just blows my mind. It's like men are the problem. Yes, there are disgusting men out there. That's the reason why OnlyFans exists. That's the reason why women are doing pornography. There's a reason why. What is that song? Victoria's Secret. I know Victoria's Secret. It's a old man in Ohio. Old. Yes, that is true at the same time. But the reason why these men are still being successful with this, because you women can't make up your damn mind what you like and don't like about empowering women. If there's one thing empowering a woman becoming a CEO, there's one thing about empowering a woman becoming an entrepreneur. Like, for example, there's a woman, I'm in my Skill Bridge program right now. There's a female veteran. She's in the process of transitioning out of the military. I actually don't remember what branch she is. The military is very strict on what women can carry for handbags and purses. So she finds, and it's almost impossible for a woman to find an in regs purse slash handbags that is still cute. So she found a niche. She found a hole in the market. She has now had prototypes made for purses and handbags for women to be able to carry in uniform without worrying about risk violating regulations and without having something god ugly on their hip or on their shoulder or wherever you may carry your handbags. Is my it says energy power is limiting. I got energy savers on. Is my battery not charging? Uh-oh. That's not good. Oh, you know what? I never turned on this. Oh, I'm glad I caught that. Okay, we're good. Crisis averted. Sorry, my laptop battery was not being charged and it was about to die on me. Um, where was I? Yeah, that is the type of woman you should empower. She is she's not flashing her boobs everywhere. She's not shaking her ass everywhere, as far as I know. Hopefully not. She seems a nice, lovely lady, and she found a hole in the market. She's now going to provide handbags to women that would like to carry fashionable, attractive handbags while in uniform without have to be worried about being yelled at for being out of regs. Out of regs, that's out of regulations for those who aren't in the military. Like, for example, this beard, severely out of regs. I'm still active duty military. If I put my uniform in on right now and I don't have a shaving waiver, even if I had a shaving waiver, this is way too long. Shaving waivers if for religious exemptions or if I have like a medical condition that shaving causes me severe irritation or sores or something like that. My hair is out of regs. Um, my weight's out of regs. I am severely, well, I won't say severely overweight. I am overweight by military standards. I'm out of regs in that sense. I'm out of regs for being physically fit. I probably cannot run a mile and a half. And if I can, it's going to be incredibly slow. I can't do the amount of push-ups I can in less than a minute. I think they increase the distance and decrease the time for the run too. I'm out of regs in that regard. It's meant to maintain fitness for survivability when we're in a combat situation. God forbid we go into combat situations. I would like to know that if I'm in a foxhole next to somebody, they're not 300 pounds and I'm expected to carry them out of that foxhole. We don't do foxholes really anymore, but you get what I'm trying to say. I'm expected to carry this fat ass out because they can't be bothered to try to lose weight or be fit. And they be in a, like if you're living on your own and you're not harboring anybody, I would like for you to be healthy and in shape. That's why I'm trying as I drink beer at almost 2 in the afternoon. Um, if you want to live your life and not worry about being healthy and all that, that's on you, on your personal time. But if you're in a situation where you're in a combat environment and a lot of people are depending on you to stay alive, you should be like, again, I am not in the image of fitness right now. I am absolute garbage. I'm actually a little disgusted in myself and I'm working on it as, again, I drink beer in the afternoon. Thank you, Arwen. My wife has made that same point. Again, I said I wasn't going to reach out while I was doing the recording, but Arwen made a good point. And my wife and I have had this conversation many, many times. Third and fourth wave feminism have no idea what the original feminism was about. They were twisted to have excuse to hate men. Actually, Arwen took it further than my wife had took it. The hate men part, I don't think we ever mentioned that as our conversation. We just the majority of our conversation about third and fourth wave feminism is it has done more harm to women than it has been to help. And I've told her my theory is it is a man behind third and fourth wave feminism because they're loving this. They're getting pornography, they're watching women attack each other and degrade each other, they're getting sexualized women, they're getting everything a misogynistic, bigoted, objectifying man, womanizing man dreams of from third and fourth wave feminism. If you guys think I'm wrong, let me know. But that is my theory. It is men behind this. I'm not gonna say white men. Obviously, it's gonna be straight men because why would a well, I have another theory about gay people too, but we're not gonna get into that right now. But the a man is getting exact a misogynistic, bigoted, womanizing, objectifying man is getting everything he wants out of the third and fourth wave feminism. Everything he wants. He gets these women that think they're empowered, so they shake their asses all over the screen. They get these women that are loose and have want to brag about their high body counts, which, by the way, is disgusting to me when a man does it. I don't brag about my body counts. I'm actually disgusted by my body count, and I can count my body count in, I don't know, one hand, maybe a little bit of my second hand. And I don't brag about it. I'm disgusted by that. I'm disappointed in myself. I had better morals and standards that as a if young Airconda could see what old Airconda has put himself through, young Airconda would be severely disappointed in him. But we can't call other people out for that. It's empowering to have high body counts. It's disgusting to have high body counts. I have my faults. I'm disgusted by my faults. Some I still struggle with now. Some I'm working through, and I'm because I am disgusted by those things. We need morals and standards again. Is there going to be a perfect human being out there? No. Does it mean we need to crucify the first porn star that comes across as male or female? No, it doesn't. It just means like we all got to admit we're flawed. We all make mistakes. We need to learn from mistakes. If you refuse to learn from mistakes, that's when it becomes a problem. But again, women only again for my female audiences that seem to be agreeing with what I'm saying so far. They may not agree with everything I'm saying, but I think they agree with the premises of what I'm saying. The women, except with the exception of women like them, women only seem to empower at the least convenient moment. I find it ironic that that early feminists were fighting for women to get out of prostitution. Yes, and now they're fighting for it to be legalized. There are women that are feminists fighting to legalize prostitution, and Arwen's right. There were women fighting for women to not do that crap anymore. But now women are fighting to be in it. Wet ass pussy, and that was a celebrated song because Slay Queen or whatever. Yeah, yeah, and that's human nature. And again, I am not perfect. I am the least perfect person in the world. Absolutely. Um, I would not. I'm not a person to be modeled after by any stretch of the imagination. If I have any people look at me as a role model or idolize me, which I doubt either of them. Actually, I have a young airman that looked at me as a role model. I would discourage it because I am not a good man. I am not a perfect. I tell my wife that all the time. She knows my past. She knows everything, all the dirty little secrets of my past. I did not hide anything from her. And she tells me I like the perfect husband for her. And I keep telling her I might be the perfect husband for you, but I am not a perfect man. I refuse to be called the perfect man. I am far from it, and I won't be. Not until I reach heaven. I mean, I'm cussing right now, and I'm a Christian, and cussing is not a good thing. I do drink to the point of inebriation. That's not a good thing as a Christian either. So I am not a perfect person at all. But it kind of, how far are we on? Yeah, we got about less than 5 minutes before this recording stops. Um, I respect Sydney Sweeney for sticking to her guns. Um, like I know I'm gonna get crucified for this. She shouldn't be sexualizing herself. She should have more respect for herself. In my opinion, I think she should have more respect for herself. But I also don't think she's the worst person out there compared to other people out there that are going taking what she's doing to a higher level. Um, I think Sydney Sweden, I bet she's an absolute sweetheart. I bet she gets along with almost any, at least man she meets. I mean, you know what? I guarantee she gets along with almost every man she runs into. Because I guarantee if the man hates everything she says or does, they just stare at her chest and then they get along with her. But it's like women, come on, figure your stuff out. Again, I'm stretching this because I know a lot of people take things the wrong way. I'm stressing this. I'm not talking about the women that seem to be agreeing with me in chat right now. The type of women like that. I'm talking about the women that think it's empowering to be a prostitute. It's empowering to be a hooker. empowering to be a slut. I'm not talking about. I'm talking about those women, the one that are uh, at the same, and then at the same time will have the balls to come out and say she's setting women back 100 years. What? It's okay for somebody to get naked and play with toys on camera, but it's not okay for somebody to sell bathwater. That's what sets you women back 100 years. Okay, fine, I guess. Whatever. Exactly, dork girl. Christian doesn't mean you still don't sin. I sin. I'm not perfect. I'm not perfect at all. I don't want anybody to look at me as somebody to be idolize or model themselves after. I want you're supposed to model yourself after Christ and go from there. Oh, I think that's about it. I think I beat that dead horse pretty heavy with Sydney Sweeney. That's actually the topic I was most passionate about. The next topic was be more lighthearted, more fun, kind of sort of tied into the Sydney Sweeney thing. And I'm got to be very careful with this part, but you guys are gonna get what I'm trying to say in just a second anyway. So let me go ahead and stop this recording. We'll get back into it. Yeah. See you guys for the next segment. All right, we got. Oh wait. What is the? I was about to think it was view botting's next. Actually, this will not be lighthearted, and this will not be as short as I think it would be. View botting is a passionate topic in the content creating world, and it's picking up a lot more now. Giving light of bigger streamers apparently have been view botting the entire time. If you're surprised by that, holy fuck, where have you been? Have you been living under a rock this entire time? I guarantee a lot of the streamers, not like I won't say every big streamer has been view botting. A lot of them have, especially if they're on Twitch and Kick, specifically Kick, because I think Kick gets off on view botting. For the reason why I say that, I've streamed on Kick 44 times, and I have almost 50 bots and 23 chatters in that time I've been streaming. Like all I get is bots. The moment I go live on Kick, in fact, I probably have one that came live today. I can't see Kick's chat right now. I guarantee if I look at my chat from today's stream, there are at least minimum one bot trying to sell me views in Kick. And Kick doesn't do shit about it because Kick loves it. I don't know why people jack Kick off so much. Kick is a trash platform. Is Rumble perfect? Does Rumble have bots? Rumble absolutely has bots. For the most part, they do their best to stop it. Kick seems to thrive off it, in my opinion. Twitch pretends to care about bots. At least they pretend. I know they're getting called out heavy because of some of their bigger streamers being caught view botting and bragging about view botting. I saw a post. I'm not gonna say who it was, and I almost responded to him, but I was like, you know what? I'm trying so hard to stay out of the Rumble drama. I got so wrapped up in it last year, and it was just not worth my time. I love Rumble. That's why I get so passionate about it. I do defend it. You can call me a simp from Rumble. That's perfectly fine. Do I think Rumble's perfect? Absolutely not. Rumble does have a lot of issues they need to resolve. Obviously, there's an issue with studios because people like Steven is constantly having issues with their stream crashing. And I would say it would be just a Steven issue. However, there is a growing number of people having the same issue. So I can't say it's a Steven issue. That's got to be a Rumble issue. I personally believe, people can disagree with me. I know there are people out there that hate Rick. Ed, are you thirsty? Are you trying to drink water from my plants? Ed. You want some water? You want some water. All right, give me a second, guys. Actually, that's giving me a little hard segue in the recording. I got to go get my dog some water. So I was talking about Rick and why some people hate Rick, but I think actually Rick is passionate and he actually gets upset. I won't say get upset like he's in tears or anything. He gets bothered by when people like Steven have issues with studios. And he wants to help them. I genuinely believe he wants to help Steven figure out what his issue is. I do. I don't know if Steven feels that way or not. I'm not going to put words in Steven's mouth one way or the other. I'm just saying, from my experience, the time I've interacted with Rick, I'm actually looking forward to meeting him at DreamHack. I think he's a great guy. I think he is very passionate about Rumble and wanting Rumble to succeed and wanting Rumble creators to succeed. He's been unfairly attacked many times, and probably still does. Again, I've been trying to keep clean. The only reason why I know about the Rumble Studio issue is because of Steven, and I like Steven and I support Steven. I would actually consider Steven an actual friend and not just someone I collab with. He's actually a person I would, if we were to meet in public, I would enjoy going to grab a beer or going out to eat or doing something like hanging out with him. So that's the only reason why I'm aware of the studio crashing issue is because of him. Because I've been trying to keep clean of it. Let me get my dog some water before I get distracted by this again. Hold on, be right back. Ed, do you want water? Ed. Come here, pup. You want some water? Go ahead, have some water. Can't make you drink, but at least I got you the water, so I'm not a shitty owner. Oh, I forgot to hit start. Did you seriously stop? I was talking about Steven and the studio issues. That's right. Um, yeah, Rumble's not a perfect platform. It still has a lot of kinks and issues to deal with. The view botting happening on Rumble. I don't think Rumble's behind the view botting. I do believe those viewers are doing it out on their own free will. Are there bots on Rumble? Absolutely. Every platform has bots. Dead internet theory is a real thing, in my opinion. Am I gonna get stressed out? This is what. So I talked about how I care and don't care about view botting. I care in the point that it does need to stop. Obviously, it pisses me off. I guess this isn't really view botting because I'm not the one view botting. It's I would say Kick is the one view botting at this point. It pisses me off that I have to interrupt my stream to ban bots trying to sell me views on Kick and Twitch. Twitch and Kick have been trying to sell me views nonstop, and it just won't stop. The artist bots piss me off too. They drive me up a wall. But I am very well aware there are viewers that are streamers that buy their views. If I see them and I can confirm they are in fact view botting, I'll report them. That's as far as it's gonna go. I am not gonna bitch and moan on X about Rumble view botting or people view botting on Rumble, and I'm not gonna do it on X. I'm not gonna post it on X and tag Rick or Rumble or Mario or Chris and say these people are clearly view botting. Why don't you ban them? Have you tried reporting them? And I know I'm gonna hear it. Rumble support doesn't respond to anything. They will probably never ban them. Okay, fine. What are you accomplishing? You're investing more time and effort to complain about these view botters than you are your content. Now, let me caveat this. There are creators that I know that have mentioned the view botting, but that is not their identity. Their identity is them not complaining about the view botting. They say something like, hey, this person's clearly view botting. This is a problem. Is Rumble going to fix it? Then there's the idiots out there that is their identity to complain about the view botting. That's all there is. They seem to invest more time in trying to find the view botters on Rumble than they do into improving their content. Because I guarantee a lot of my views are bots. I'm not paying for the views, but I guarantee a lot of my views are bots on Rumble. Guarantee it. 90% of my views on Kick are bots. I would say probably almost 100% of my views on Kick are bots. Almost 100% of my followers on Kick are bots. I would say about 85 to 90% on Twitch are bots. YouTube is probably a decent amount of bots as well. I'm not going to go out there and bitch and moan every time I see a bot or somebody botting. I have a goal I'm trying to accomplish for me personally, and I am going to be more worried about that. It's up to if Rumble ends up being a trash platform because they don't do anything about the bots, then that's why I'm still on the other platforms. I don't think they will be. I think Rumble is doing things about the bots as much as they can with what they have. People can say I'm cucking for Rumble. Don't give a fuck. I don't think Chris and Rick and Mario and Lance and all the other staff members I know about on Rumble are intentionally defending botters and allowing them to bot. In fact, Chris has been very adamant about people view botting during the creator program. There was actually, he had a statement that got people so concerned. Like, I have a chat bot. I have the Streamlabs. I mean, not the Streamlabs chat bot. I got the, excuse me, Rumble Labs bot. I got the Rumbot bot. I did have Tyler Travis's Rum Goggles bot for a bit, but I think he stopped supporting that, so I stopped using it. So I do have bots, and there was people concerned that if you had those people, or for the unique chatters, if you had those things talking in chat, Rumble will remove you from the program completely. No, he was talking about people specifically intentionally paying for views and chatters will be removed from the program. Are some going to slip through the cracks? Absolutely. But if you are going to complain about it and not even make an effort to report them, I don't know what to say to you. I mean, that's how little I care. Like, okay, there's one guy that went after JT. He is absolutely view botting, which is ironic because he accuses JT of view botting. He has 85 followers on Rumble with 17,000 views. Really? Clearly view botting as he's attacking somebody for view botting. That is definitely not view botting. What happened with JT is, one, he's been featured. Two, the community came behind JT to get him to be able to continue in the creator program. The community, you know why? Because JT is JT. He's a genuine person. As far as I know, I haven't seen anything that suggests otherwise. He's a genuine person, and he's a likable person. So the community, what Rumble community does, the real Rumble community does, is rally behind somebody they believe in and support and got him going. But this jackass that wants to flex on everybody about how much money he makes, viewbots the shit out of his own channel and then accuses somebody else just because the community cares more about him than his shitty content. I'm not even going to say the dude's name because I don't want him getting any attention. I mean, I'm sure if you know who I'm talking about, but if you don't, I don't want you to know who I'm talking about. I reported him. I absolutely reported him. For the amount of views he's getting with 85 followers and no features, clearly a view botter. So I report him, and that's the end of it. I'm not going to continually at Chris or Rick or Mario or Rumble or email Rumble about him. I'm just going to post it, report him, move on. Well, hopefully Chris does something. I think they have done something about it, specifically for how he attacked JT, because there's some recent videos that suggest he's a little pissed off that nobody's giving him his money anymore. So I think Chris has taken action against this individual. I know people would probably want more, like him to be outright banned from the platform. I'm not so quick to have people banned from Rumble, personally. And people can call me out for that, because the whole purpose about Rumble is not banning people. Now, who was it? Fuck, what is his name? He used to harass Steven a lot, and then Tommy podcast. Steven will know who I'm talking about. Arwen probably does. Dork might even know who I'm talking about. I don't know how long Dork's been with watching Steven, but I know Arwen's been with Steven for a while. There's this one guy. His name started with a V. It's something else now. In the first round of creator program, he's been. That's how long he's been involved. He ended up getting his account completely wiped for how he was attacking other creators. Like, he wouldn't reset to 0. They didn't ban him. I think that's good enough. There are people that are going to disagree with me. I guess that's fair. You're right to your opinion, but I think having his complete account completely wiped is good enough. He's got a consequence for his action. Um, I don't think, unless you can 100% prove that nothing on this person does is botting, I don't think they should be banned. If they have actual following and support, I don't think they should be banned from the platform. Now, if you can prove, I would say I'll be generous. Maybe it's not generous. Some people might be saying it's ungenerous to other creators. If 90% of his following is bots, he should be banned. If he has, if it's less than 90%, I don't think he should be banned. He definitely shouldn't be allowed in the creator program at all. Um, but the point of all of this is, again, this is what happens when I don't script. Is I'm less worried about who's view botting and more worried about what my content brings to the table, what I can do for myself to personally grow, and how to make sure my percentage of viewership and followers and engagement is as little bot as possible, that I actually bring real people into my content. That I'm more worried about that. I will point out, and I'm not saying people who do point out that are people view botting on platforms like Rumble. And this is another thing that bothers me too. This particular individual that sparked this whole thing um, complains constantly about Rumble and their view bots. Constantly. I don't know if this person is multi-streams to other platforms or not, but doesn't seem to give a shit that Twitch and Kick are clearly, or specifically Kick is definitely view botting. They care about Rumble. I don't know why. I don't know what their fixation is with why Rumble is the only one. Now, I'll admit, I'm not saying that Rumble, if you can prove without a shadow of a doubt that Rumble is view botting, like the platform itself is view botting, Rumble should not get a pass because the other platforms do it. Rumble's supposed to be better than the other platforms, so I will give that much. Rumble is supposed to be better than the other platforms, and if they're just as bad or doing the same thing as the other platforms, absolutely call them out for it. But again, to make it your whole identity, when the other like you don't seem to give a shit that the other platforms are doing it, I don't care anymore. I don't care what you have to say anymore. I'm just gonna ignore you. Um, if you're more worried, be more worried about you. You cannot control who view bots and who doesn't. It's just like everything else in life. Um, I I had an effect with the like a lot of stuff going on in the country I didn't like. I voted. I did my actions to get hopefully the outcome I want. And I did for the most part get what I wanted. But I also knew at the end of the day, if it didn't go the way they want, it's outside of my control. I'm just gonna make myself miserable and sick. I'm still gonna continue to try to improve, but I'm not gonna make it my identity. I'm not going to make it me. I'm not going to let it consume me. I'm going to do what I need to do to help it improve, but I'm not going to let it ruin my goals and ambitions and my family. I'm going to do what I need to do to ensure things go the way I think they should go. Am I 100% correct in the way I think things should go? Probably not. Like I said, some people may disagree. If you view bot even a little bit, you should be completely banned. There might be people that believe that on Rumble, that people who view bot should be completely banned, but I don't think so. I personally don't. If you could prove without a shadow of a doubt that over 90% of their support and engagement is bots, then absolutely, you know what that means? Because at that point, like, are they a bot themselves? Bots, absolutely, because bots aren't human. They don't deserve rights. So, um, do I acknowledge that there are bots on Rumble? Yes. Do I acknowledge people who view bot on Rumble like every other platform? Yes. Do I think Rumble should do something about the botting? Absolutely. I believe they should. Do I think Rumble is going to be able to completely 100% remove view botters? No. No. And this is the thing that gets me about this particular individual is complaining about view botters on X. This is what gets me. Like, Rumble may actually be actively removing people that are view botting as quickly as they physically and humanly can. But you know what's convenient about botting? You can easily make an account today and be on the front page for highest view count in 30 minutes with bots. It could be the same exact person. Maybe they just tweak their username to be a slightly different. Rumble's gonna have to remove them again. But you're gonna act like Rumble is intentionally allowing this and bitching because they don't care about the creator and blah blah blah. It takes like a snap of a finger for that person to just come right back and start view botting again under a different name. Now, if it's somebody that's been known that's been view botting and they've been view botting consistently nonstop and they've been reported nonstop, okay, I get your complaint at that point. But if it's a brand new name you've never seen before, you're gonna act like Rumble doesn't give a shit. It's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? You think you're God and you can do this and like Thanos snap all the bots off Rumble yourself? I would love to see you try, please. Go ahead and do it. Um, but until somebody can prove that Rumble is intentionally ignoring the view botters, 100% don't give a shit, and they are in fact even welcoming the view botters, um, I think you're just blowing smoke up your own ass at that point, and the other people that think like you. Again, nothing wrong with calling out view botters, nothing wrong with reporting the view botters, nothing wrong with bringing the view botters to Rumble's attention, but to think that Rumble is intentionally ignoring it and don't give a shit about creators because a couple of view botters made it to the front page in one day. Do you think Chris and Rick know, like, as soon as a view bot pop in the chant, they got like a view bot sense, their view bot senses are tingling and they immediately delete that person as soon as that happens? No. There are thousands, hundreds of thousands of us on throughout multiple categories. There's what, a couple hundred Rumble staff? The only way they can crack down as much as they do, and I'm against this. People can call me wrong for this. I'm against this. The only way they can probably 100% crack down on this is having an AI algorithm that intentionally targets people they suspect of view botting and it takes them down immediately. And this has already happened on Rumble. Dear Sarge had his channel taken down for no apparent reason. And I don't know if it sounded like it was an automated system because the automated system flagged him for botting. That is not, I'm sorry. It's like anything else in life. We don't want to arrest 100 innocent people just because one person committed a crime. That's my opinion on this. And you guys can think I'm wrong for that. You can absolutely think I'm wrong for that. If Rumble starts relying on an AI algorithm, which YouTube has proven time and time again has accidentally taken the channel down, Twitch even, I'm against that. I love that Rumble doesn't do that. But I understand something still needs to be done about the view botting. I don't have the answer of what can be done to stop the view botting on Rumble. I'm not bitching and moaning about like this. I admittedly, because I'm pissed off at Kick. I'm the only reason why I'm still streaming on Kick is to prove a point to people. They keep telling me Kick is so much better than Rumble. Same with YouTube, but YouTube actually, like YouTube, the way I would rank the platforms right now, the platforms I stream on, which is Rumble, YouTube, Twitch, Kick, and X. I rank Rumble is number one in my opinion. Is it excellent in growth and monetization? I think the opportunities are better in monetization in Rumble, but the amount of monetization pulled in compared to what I could be doing on YouTube if I had the same viewer count and subs is probably not great. But the opportunity to monetize is better on YouTube. The amount of monetization being pulled in is, the opportunities to monetize is better on Rumble. The monetization I pull in is probably, if I had the same viewership and following on YouTube, would probably be a lot less money wise. But even then, I've heard big creators talk about they don't make that money in ad revenue because they get demonetized all the time because they said one naughty word. I was just checking the time. But when it comes to how the platforms conduct themselves, I would say Rumble's number one. I think my discoverability for me personally is better on Rumble. It's number one. YouTube is a close, or YouTube would technically be better than Rumble, but for again me personally, it's second. YouTube is better or second from Rumble. One thing I've noticed, like people talk about uploads suck on Rumble. In my experience, again, streaming sucks on YouTube. Uploads do better on YouTube. It's like the reverse of Rumble for me. For me, again, let me stress this before somebody gets their get all their panties in a twist. I believe it's the opposite. Now, is YouTube better with the streaming discoverability? Again, for me, no, it's not. I think my average viewership never breaks one viewer. Our average viewership on YouTube. I have had 20 something viewer or subscribers increased since the beginning of 2025. Rumble, I've had hundreds. Again, people can say that, well, those are all bots, they don't count. Well, I can argue that about YouTube because a lot of people that subscribe to my YouTube never chat, like, or comment on my posts. I have maybe 1 to 3 chatters per stream on my YouTube channel, and maybe get 1 like per stream on my YouTube channel, and I get little to no comments on my videos. So I could argue the same thing about YouTube. YouTube bots. So that's all it is. All of my people watching me on YouTube are bots. I've had my Batman streams. My Batman streams do the best on YouTube. They get well over 100 most of the time, very close to 100 or over 100. I get 1 like, 1 to 3 likes, 1 to 3 chatters, 0 comments on every single one of those streams. Okay, if we're gonna use the logic you guys are using, then nothing on YouTube is bots either. So their growth is fake, which is, it probably is. A lot of the growth on YouTube is probably fake for everybody, not just me. Kick, and then it would be X next. X would be the next one, but I don't really count X because a lot of my growth on X is because of posting and not my streams. So I don't really include X into this whole, especially since X I don't get chatters. I haven't figured it out yet, but as far as I know, when I multi-stream through Rumble Studios, the chat is not enabled. It might be enabled for followers only, or verified users only. I think that's how it works, and I think there's a way you can make it available for everybody. Maybe that's Rumble's answer, going verified only. But as we see in Pickaxe, people hate doing the ID thing to verify themselves. How is Rumble going to verify themselves or verify users? And now, technically, you get a green check mark when you become a Rumble Premium user, but a lot of people aren't going to be happy with that either. They don't want to pay for the verification. It's the same thing on X. The only way you can be verified is if you're a big enough account to apply for verification, or you pay for premium on X. So obviously, people aren't going to do that either. Like, the people want their cake and eat it too, and that's what drives me nuts about this whole entire situation. They want their cake and they want to eat it too. They don't want to pay a dime. They don't want to do any effort. They don't want to do any work, but they expect Rumble to fix everything. Do I have the answer for how Rumble can handle the situation? I don't. I really don't. I don't know how they can do it. I can't even begin to imagine how they can handle it. Like, I'm not a coding engineer. I'm not a website developer. I'm not any of that. So I have no clue to where even to begin. Because obviously, you'll make some people happy if you require ID verification, but you're going to piss off a good majority of them. And you're going to make some people happy if they pay to be verified, but then you're going to piss off the people that don't want to pay to be verified. So what is Rumble supposed to do? Next on the list would be Twitch, but they're very closely on level with Kick. The only thing that has Twitch beat Kick is the fact that Twitch at least lets me know, not every now and then, hardly any, but every now and then lets me know, like, hey, this is a suspicious user. Kick doesn't even do that shit. Kick just lets them message me nonstop. And the only way they don't message me anymore. And the funny thing is, I'll ban them. They already give me my follow, but my follow count will stay the same even though I banned them. So it's like, I don't know. Choose your battles. Choose what you think is worth your time. If Kick is gonna be a trash platform that doesn't do shit about botting, but Rumble is at least attempting to bot, but your fight is with Rumble, I think you just fucking hate Rumble to hate Rumble. If you're a multi-streamer, let's put it that way. Let me add that. I'm not gonna say everybody like this, because there are people that believe in Rumble, get upset when Rumble lets them down. I can respect and understand that. But if you're multi-streaming and your fight's only with Rumble over botting, I'm going to assume you just hate Rumble and you're just trying to get clout off of hating Rumble. That's my assumption at this point. Hey, look at that on Twitch. Best viewers on stream, bo.com. Remove the space at JS. You know, I'm going to stop reading this for you guys. Fucking bot on Twitch right there. Thank you, Twitch. Thank you for coming through and proving my point. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Holy fuck shit. But Rumble's the problem. Okay, before anybody says it, yes, I think Junior's mentioned this. There's a couple other people mentioned they get chats like that in their chat too. Okay, yes, Rumble's not perfect, but Twitch, I don't know. You would think maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm completely wrong with this. With the bigger following on Rumble, I would have more issues with, because I'm a favorite on Rumble and I get featured all the time. You'd think I would have more issues with bots on Rumble than I would on Twitch. I'm non-existent on Twitch, and I get more bots on Twitch than I do on Rumble. I have had two bots since I started this bot tracker about beginning of July, beginning of June. I don't remember where I started. It's been over 40. It's almost 50 streams at this point since I started. I've had two bots actually pop up in my chat. Twitch is now at what? Oh, they're in the 30s. Kick is almost in the 50s. YouTube is zero. YouTube is the only one I've had no bots in chat. But I also don't get any chatters in YouTube at all either. So I guess YouTube is just bots because I do get views on YouTube, but nobody chats, likes, or comments. So I guess they're bots. All right, I think I beat this dead horse. I probably lost some followers because people apparently can't handle criticism. I, I mean, admittedly, yes, I have unfollowed and muted people because I got sick of seeing the same post over and over and over again. If your whole identity is bitching about Rumble, I'm gonna unfollow you and mute you. It's not because I don't believe in your right to free speech. It's because, like, what the fuck? Do you guys have anything else better to do with your life? You're trying to become a content creator, but your content is bitching about YouTube and Rumble or about Rumble. There's no other thing I can identify. Like, the people I mute never post about their streams, never post about their uploads, never post about what they have planned for the channel. There's just Rumble's botting. Rumble has its favorites. Rumble. So yes, I have muted or unfollowed those people. And so, but it's a difference between that and then unfollowing somebody because you don't like the criticism. You don't want to hear somebody disagree with you. There are people that disagree all the time. Steven disagrees with me on some stuff, not that much, but he's more civil about it. Amish disagrees with me. Ohio Mark disagrees with me. Noobs disagrees with me, and I love Noobs to death. We hung out together. Beers disagrees with me. Still in my friends list. Still talk to them in DMs. Still at them in posts. Still do collabs with them. Valent disagrees with me. So it's just, if your whole identity is unfounded bitching and that's all I see on your social, yeah, I'm gonna follow and mute you. But I guarantee, like I said, people are probably unfollowing and muted me because I won't get on the bandwagon. I'm a Rumble cuck. I am a Rumble favorite. I'm a Rumble soy boy. I'm a Rumble simp. What else have I actually been called? Like, these are things I've been called before in the past. So therefore, I'm gonna unfollow you because you hurt my feelings because you don't agree with what I have to say, like a leftist, like the mentality of a leftist. Like, speaking of which, actually, politically, like Amish and I and Highmark and I did disagree a lot politically on a lot of stuff, but I still like them as human beings because I also know I am a human and I am not right on everything I believe in. It's funny how the world works, right? All right, we're gonna end this segment. We're gonna move on to the Get Wet awards, but I have to take a BP real quick. My tiny little bladder is striking up again, so we're gonna stop this recording right now so you guys can move on to the next segment, which will be shorter, more humorous, maybe, possibly, and then we'll go ahead and wrap up the stream and open up for commenters. How's it going, Keyline Warrior? So let me go ahead and stop this recording, go take a tinkle, and then we'll start it back up again. All right, hold on, chat. I'm wrangling my dogs. Ed, come here. Ed, come on. Come on, puppy. Come on, handsome. Yeah, you need to go outside. You need to go outside. Good boy. Good, you did drink some water. Come on. Come on, Dad. Get in the house. Come on. That's some skill right there. All right. All right. Well, I hope you guys. Ongoing is one word, not two. Oh, well, thank you, Durham Reality. I appreciate that. Yeah, I need to fix that. I'll do it later, though. I appreciate it. Look, a real chat on. I remember Durham from my old days. Hi, baby girl. I appreciate that, Durham. I appreciate that. Seriously. Look, a real chatter on YouTube, by the way. Look at that. Not a single bot on YouTube. And you know, all the faults with YouTube. And yet I mean, at least they got that figured out. Granted, they false flag channels all the time, but I guess what you I was supposed to end the segment. I guess the question I got to ask everybody that are upset about Rumble's bot issue: what are you willing to sacrifice in order to secure a botless platform? Are you willing to take the risk to have your channel maybe unintentionally flagged as botting and be taken down, and then having to go through the process of contacting support and getting your channel brought up? Or do you want Rumble to do the best they can, as long as they're showing that they're trying their best to remove it without having an algorithm that can sometimes false flags channels? Me personally, I'd rather that one. As long as Rumble's proving they're actively trying to take down bots, without using a automated algorithm that does tend to false flag at times, especially with updates and glitches. I rather that, because honestly, like, for me specifically, I'm going to be retired from the military by the end of this year. I would absolutely love to supplement my income, my retirement disability pay, with streaming, so I wouldn't have to get a job. I can stay home, do work around the house, cook for my wife, go on trips with my wife, and no, streaming will make me enough money to continue to support Rumble, or to continue to do this without having to get a job. But that's going to be hindering a lot of people. If, like, for me specifically, I don't want to spend like 3 or 4 days to a couple weeks trying to get my account back up because it got false flagged for view botting. But that's just me. You're human, kind of. I appreciate it, Durham. But all right, I think I beat the dead horse about botting enough. Yes, it happens. I find it funny that people are shocked that these big creators have been view botting. I think it's funny that people are shocked that Twitch and Kick are allowing that. I mean, the main criticism is Twitch right now. I don't know why Kick keeps getting these passes. The only person I see calling Kick for botting is Joker. But he's been accused of being a Rumble simp or whatever you want to call him. I think Joker's spot on, but that's just me. You might be saying I'm getting my confirmation bias, so that's why I agree with Joker. This beer is delicious, by the way. All right, the next topic, which is not the last topic, is the WET Awards. If you guys see at the bottom of the screen right now, it says you can vote for me Get Wet Sports Wet Awards in the military category because they're doing the female streamer, the LGBT streamer. I do have my opinions on that, but I think the people that Get Wet are good people. I think they are because even though they might have a category set aside for LGBT creators, and I have my issues with some of those creators, Get Wet is an honest and I would say based organization. I seriously mean that. Funny how that happens when you get people that disagree on a topic and somehow they can still get along. I like so because I've had I don't know the name of the person or the face behind Get Wet, but I have talked to them or a staff member behind DMs, and we actually agreed on a lot of stuff. They stopped doing the. It's either the wettest. They change the name almost every time they pull it up, but the premise is the same thing. It's the wettest creator, or the Get Wet Awards, or or the top mill creator, or something like that. They changed the name of the awards, and it's not like I'm gonna win money or a prize or notoriety. It's just a fun way to get creators out there, and I think that's why I have fun with these votes. I wish I kind of knew a little higher further in events. That would be my only criticism about this whole thing that Get Wet does, if they happen to be watching, is I wish I had more of a heads up because I got some fun creative ways. In fact, I've been talking to What If today about a couple of them about get my name out there. Like this is why you should vote for me. Last time I was talking about I was gonna do a wet surprise on the stream if I made it as the number one creator. Sadly enough, I usually make to round 3 and usually lose out in round 3. I'm not gonna make it to round 3 today. I'm going up against a female veteran, a very attractive female veteran that has over 20,000 followers, and I'm sure she's a sweet girl, but she has a leg up that I don't have. So I am more than likely going to lose to her. I don't think we could lose. I think we could win. So if you guys could vote for me and share that link, you can only vote once. Vote for Ramron Jenkins, and actually, who was the other guy? Ramron pointed him out to me today. Ramron Jenkins. Make sure you vote for Ramron Jenkins, and you vote for. Let me go find it. Black Fox. And their vote. Ramrod and Black Fox are also Rumble creators, so make sure you vote for them. So if I don't make it to round 3, at least one of them will. So make sure when you go into vote, because you can vote for each tier. So make sure Black Fox, I think, was at the top of the list. So vote for him, then vote, and then I'm next, and then Ramrod's near the bottom. So vote in that order. And if I don't make it, at least one of those guys can make it, so we can get them through. Get some Rumble creators to represent out there. That would be really cool to see. Like I said, I'm probably not going to win. I'm at a disadvantage. I don't have boobies to squeeze up for you guys to be entertained by or anything like that. Like I said, I'm sure she's probably a sweet girl, but even if I'm not saying, let's just face it, men are more likely to vote for a woman than they are a man, regardless of what that woman is doing to get attention. So, especially an attractive woman. So, but if you guys could vote for me, that'd be greatly appreciated. For those watching on the other platforms, it'd be kind of, I guess the best I could say is just type that link into your browser and drop that vote. And it's Aircon TV on there. You got Ramron Jenkins, and then you got Black Fox. Just vote for those two as well. I like to see those Rumble creators to make it through. The vote should end around 10 or 11. I can't remember if it's 9 or 10. I think it's around 9 p.m. today. So if you can get those votes in before then, and then after that, we'll find out if I move on to the next round. I woke up finding out that I moved on to this round. So I'll probably wake up to find out I did not make it to the next round. I know we can do it. I know with the power of Rumble, we could do this. I absolutely believe we can do this. And like I said, I'm not going to get money out of it. I'm not going to get any awards. It's like bragging rights. It gets my name out there for other people to check out my content. It's a fun way. That's why I'm not upset by any of this. Like, it's just a fun way. And I like that Get Wet did this. One of the things I was talking about that we Get Wet and I talked about in DMs before, people are upset that saying this is not cool because it degrades what a creator does if based on votes and following. And it's like it's like, guys, you're looking at this in the wrong way. nobody's getting money out of this. Nobody's gonna. I mean, you might get some followers out of it because you got people that are gonna find you that normally wouldn't find you because of Get Wet. It's like if you like stop focusing on the negative on an event like this. Focus on the positive about your name's getting out there to eyes that probably wouldn't have never seen you before. And if you have fun with it, like last time I went up against I can't remember his name. I like him. He's still in my chat, or I still see him on X all the time. I can't think of his name. I almost said ZWO. It's close. It's similar to that. I'm so sorry, man, if you're watching by any chance. He and I went up against each other, I think twice last time. And I lost and he continued on. I think I beat him in one round and then I lost the next round. And then we continued on. All right, he continued on. We had fun with it. We had fun with it because I knew him as why can't I think of his name right now? He used to be, I think he's not a teacher anymore. He used to be a teacher. He was a regiment member. I don't know if he still is a regiment member. But we had fun with it. I don't know. It's Kels, I think is who I'm going up again. I don't know her. I've seen her name around. I don't know her well enough. I'm not going to be one of the ones that is going to blow smoke up her ass just because I have fun. The reason why I had fun with Zeus Wood. I remember his name now. Zeus Wood. Reason why I had fun when I added him even after I lost is because I know him. We interacted before Get Wet. I'm not going to do that for It's Kels. First of all, because I don't know her. I wish her the best of luck because she's obviously. I mean, here's my prediction: she's going to take this one all the way through. She's going to be the one that's going to win the Wet Award for the military. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. You know, if I'm wrong, we'll do one of those like disgusting food challenges. I'll let chat decide what it is. If I'm wrong about this, we'll do a disgusting food challenge. If I, by some miracle, make it all the way through to the final round, not even necessarily win the final round. If I make it to the final round, we'll find some fun, creative way for you to celebrate with chat. But if I'm wrong about It's Kels making it all the way to the final round, I will. You guys, I'll do a poll for some kind of disgusting food challenge, and I'll do it live on stream. That's what we'll do. And that's what this is all about: is having fun with it. Like people take this stuff. Oh, my dogs are playing in the background. People take this stuff way too seriously. Like they because Get Wet messaged me. Oh, this was what 23, 22, and says, "Hey, people complain about us doing these voting things. What are your opinion?" I was like, "Stop listening to them. Just do it. It's a fun way to get yourself out there. If you're not willing to put yourself out there, why the hell are you a content creator?" Oh, you know what? This is for the next topic, so we won't talk about it just yet. If you're not willing to put yourself out there, you shouldn't be a content creator because you need to find. I'm not telling you to be fake. But find ways to be unique, different. Put your face out there. Make a reason for people to want to click your channels. But and this is one of them. A fun, friendly little poll where you're competing with other creators in the same category. That's just me on that one. We're gonna go ahead. I was gonna stop the recording, but we'll go ahead and move in the DreamHack one. But I appreciate Get West. By the way, guys, if you're a creator, you want to check out Get West Sports. They retweet a lot of my posts about my streams a lot, regardless. They used to be, I think, I don't know if they were always their creator pages are based off Twitch, and I think it's just because the integration for that works better. But they've been like when I'm live on Twitch, I show up on the Get Wet military page all the time. When I'm not on Twitch, I don't show up. But they repost my posts if they catch it. So if you guys want to look at it for a fun way to get yourself out there, maybe even compete against me in the next military category, Get Wet Awards, whatever they end up calling it the next time they run one of these polls. I think it's like every 6 months, give or take, is when they usually run these things. Definitely check out Get Wet Sports. I think they're good people. I think they're based. I don't know how many people run it. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know the name of the face that runs the organization. I had their X account message me on DMs before talking about this in the past if I think they should continue to run these polls or not. I told them they absolutely should and stop listening about the people complaining about it. But I'm also I'm me. Hey Bella, drink some water. I think the whole world can hear you panting right now. Zeus is drinking water because he's smart. The final topic we're going to talk about, then we're going to wrap up with a review of the beer. We're going to keep this in like one video clip for the recording and for the grab a beer shots. The last one is DreamHack. I will be at DreamHack Atlanta this year. Specifically the 31st. I might come up the Friday before to meet up with Rumble creators. I'm not going to meet up with viewers. Any Rumble creator that wants to or can meet up to go out to eat or something and grab a couple drinks. The reason being, like, I'm not expecting these creators to do this. I don't want people to feel like they have to. I'm trying to get my wife to come up with me, and that weekend will be my final weekend in the military. October 31st will actually be the last day of me for me in the military, barring like World War III doesn't kick off and stop losses dropped. But October 31st, so at 11:59, that is the final hour of me being in the military, and I want to do something special with my wife specifically. I'm gonna have it open up to Rumble creators if want to meet up with me, and we might go out to eat, grab a few drinks, maybe even go see the aquarium, depending how early we get up there on Friday. So if you guys want to be a part of that, you can. And again, this is specifically for the creators. So if there's any of my fellow Rumble creators, it's nothing against my viewers. I love and appreciate you guys' support. If you guys want to meet me, you can show up at DreamHack on the 31st, but the day prior, that's gonna be specifically for some creators, specifically ones I've actually made friends. I'm gonna open it up to all creators, but specifically ones I made friends with. Um, um, and I'm not gonna make it about me. I'm not gonna be like talking about how I'm retiring the whole night out. It's just my wife and I are gonna go out and enjoy a nice dinner, few drinks, maybe a show or two or something. Maybe even go see Atlanta Braves. Well, no, the playoffs. So yeah, it wouldn't be a Braves game more than like even if the Braves make it to the playoffs. Chances of a game happening that weekend. But we'll do probably something fun, some movie, grab some aquarium or something, grab a few drinks. I'm not gonna get trashed. So if you're gonna come out, think you can come out and buy me a bunch of drinks to get me wasted, that's not gonna happen because my wife absolutely is terrified of driving in Atlanta. And she is not gonna be happy if I'm plastered in the vehicle while she's driving me around town. So I'm not gonna do that. But we'll still have a few drinks, grab a few bites, crash at a hotel, and then we'll show up at DreamHack early the next morning to hang out with all the creators. One of my things I wanted to mainly talk about in the DreamHack thing is the Italian CEO. Huge shout out. Well, actually, huge. I got a couple of huge shout outs for the DreamHack stuff. Amasaku for the idea behind the shirts that I've been making for all the creators going to be showing up for DreamHack. We have like 2 or 3 left for free, by the way. If I write on a free shirt, so you can still grab a shirt if you're going or not going. You'll just have to pay out of pocket for it yourself. Um, so the shirts are still available regardless if Silver's money runs out, and that's the next shout out to Silver Fox. Silver Fox, for those of you who don't know, actually Silver Fox and I have butted heads pretty good in the past, like 2022 or sorry 23 or 24. I don't remember exactly when it happened. We haven't always exactly got along, but I give respect where respect due. The dude gave up his own money. You can criticize him for various things, but he gave up his own money. I think he does care about the community, and he gave up his own money to ensure other creators have an opportunity to be able to represent their brand at DreamHack. So a huge shout out for Silver Fox for that. He's probably not watching this because I don't even think he knows this channel exists. A lot of people don't know this channel exists because I don't post on it that much or post about it. He gave up a lot of his hard-earned cash. I'm not going to say how much. If he wants to tell you guys how much he gave up, that's fine. I know Italian was asking about it, and Silver never got back to me if I have his permission to tell Italian, because Italian wanted to. Another shout-out, it's Italian CEO. I think I already did that, but regardless, he was offering to also help get shirts. And he wanted to know how much Silver gave up so he can kind of offset what Silver gave up. And I said, I'm not, I respect people when they do this. Like I wasn't, Silver said you don't have to give me a shout out when he gave me the money, and I asked him would he be upset if I did, and he said no. So I went ahead and gave the shout out. If he told me no, I don't want anybody to know, I would have done it. So Silver has not given me permission to tell people how much money he gave for the shirts. So even though Italian CEO has the best interest at heart to why he was asking, I'm until Silver gives me permission, I'm not telling Italian how much he gave up. And another shout out to Pat Killer for organizing this entire event. This is probably going to be, it is the largest Rumble creator as far as I'm tracking meetup since Rumble Gaming became a thing. And this is where I'm going to criticize Rumble a bit. I'm a little disappointed. Now, I do know a lot of Rumble staff will be showing up at the creator at DreamHack. I know Rick mentioned it. I don't know who the others are going to be showing up. I know Rick mentioned it, but Rick is like one of the most realest ones out there for the Rumble staff. I'm not. This is not criticizing the other Rumble staff. It's because I know Rick more than the rest of them. And I'm very excited about meeting him, and seeing him at DreamHack. And then I might not actually be able to talk to him. There's gonna be like 30 plus of us showing up at DreamHack, and I'm sure the Rumble staff are gonna be pulled every which direction with all of us. Hopefully, nobody's gonna be out there to ambush them, like with criticisms about Rumble. It's like for your clickbait, rage bait bullshit. Um, but I know I'm hoping to at least shake his hand while I'm out there. Because I do really appreciate everything he does. He works hard. You guys, so a lot of you may not know this. He works really hard to help us out. He like one of the he may not be the hardest or the only hard worker at Rumble, but he's the only one I know personally that puts himself out there. I think he truly believes in Rumble, so he's the one I'm most excited about. I'm happy to meet any of the Rumble staff. So if you guys are watching, be happy to see you guys. But he's going to be out there. I don't know if Chris is going to be there. I don't think I saw anything about Chris being there. The only thing I'm disappointed about Rumble, this is not a Rick criticism. This is a Rumble criticism. This is on the people that run the Gaming on Rumble account, and this is on the people that, on Chris himself. You have over 30 creators. I'm about to buy my ticket in about a couple days. You got over 30 creators showing up from one of the biggest Rumble gaming creator, probably one of the biggest creator meetup, regardless if it's in gaming or not, in Rumble's history. And you guys, it's awesome you're sending staff. Fantastic. Really cool. But you've been really quiet about this whole thing. This is one of my biggest criticisms about Rumble. The only thing they seem to really promote a lot is their politics stuff, which is always been a criticism on Rumble. You have over 30 creators, some of your biggest gaming creators, showing up at DreamHack Atlanta, and maybe they're waiting to announce something. Maybe I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. It's September. I mean, we're only less than 2 months away from DreamHack. Maybe they're waiting until September to announce something. But this is a golden opportunity to capitalize on a gaming market event. And DreamHack has shown one of the first gaming conventions that actually shown willingness to work with Rumble and Rumble creators for this event. And I know they said they got several Rumble gaming creators that have been invited to becoming invited as creators. I'm sure Lumpy Potato is one of them. I don't know who else. I know Pudge applied. I don't know if he's heard anything. If he has, I haven't seen him post anything. An Italian CEO is in talks with DreamHack, and they said he can buy a Rumble booth, but because he's not an official member of Rumble, I can't remember if I'm misquoting him. Italian, if you happen to be listening, let me know. I think they told him because he's not officially Rumble, he doesn't have the right to buy a booth in the name of Rumble. He can buy a booth for himself and promote his own stuff at DreamHack. But he's reached out to Rumble, and maybe they've reached out to him because he stopped talking about it. So who knows? Maybe they got something in talk. I don't know. But if Rumble is not going to take advantage of this golden opportunity and actually have the first time they have a booth at a gaming convention, that is a big L on Rumble for gaming specifically. And it proves they not only care. Okay, let me be careful. It doesn't prove they only care about politics, but the biggest driver is politics for them. Which I get it. It's what they were founded on. That's what it brings a lot of their money in. Dan Bongino, Crowder, Viva Fry, Russell Brand, those guys are bringing a lot of money. Now Tim Pool, these guys bring a lot of money for them. So obviously they're going to do their best to milk that as long as possible. But like if they have an opportunity to branch out and not be known as a political platform, and if they're going to let this drop, that's a big L, man. Like a big L. And again, I don't know what's happening behind closed doors. I don't see Italian talking about it anymore. So maybe he got a hold of somebody in Rumble and they're already working something else. Maybe Rumble already had something in mind. They're just keeping quiet about it till it gets closer to the event. I don't know. Maybe Rumble will make a big surprise at the event itself. I don't know. But this is an opportunity. It seems like DreamHack is willing to work with them. So hopefully they take advantage of it. But to wrap this episode up and that topic, I will be at DreamHack at least on the 31st. I'm not going to be there on Sunday. Sunday is November 1st. That will be the day I'm no longer Sergeant Airconda. It will be the day I'll be Mr. Airconda. And that day, I'm going to spend with my beautiful wife, and we're going to celebrate me no longer being in the military. Not worried about deployments, not worried about TDYs, not worried about PCSings, not worried about anything else that's uncertain with the military life. For those who grew up in military life, whether as a dependent or a member themselves, is well aware of what I'm talking about right now. So we're going to celebrate together. November 1st is going to be my wife and I's day. So the 31st, I intend to head back to my hometown. I live in Georgia. Atlanta's not far, super far from me. I intend to head back to my hometown the night of the 31st. Maybe I'll go out with the creators after. If they do like an after party thing, maybe we'll hang out together if they're there for a little bit. But I'm not going to get drunk. I'm not going to get wasted. I'm going to head home. So that way on Sunday, I can spend that time with my beautiful wife and celebrate the fact that we made it through all this and we're done. And we're moving on to another chapter of our lives. I do intend to do a specialized stream. You guys heard me talk about this before. It'll be on my gaming channel. I talked to Sergeant Wilkie. See if we can organize something together. We're probably gonna do a charity stream for that day for a veteran organization. I'm gonna let him choose because he's more in tune with that stuff. I know about the Wounded Warrior. I know about Stacked Up. But if he's got another and then Regiment now. Oh, you know, that's right. I was gonna do something for Regiment. Regiment has a veteran organization, charity organization now. So we'll probably do something for them too. We'll do a specialized stream. It's gonna be a long stream. It's not gonna be the day I'm officially out. It's gonna be a day or two. It might be the weekend after DreamHack. We'll do a gaming stream. I'm gonna open it up. This is no offense to anybody else watching. Please don't take offense to this. Because of the nature and the purpose behind the stream, we're gonna open this up to veteran streamers only. So Wilkie, Sparks, Ramrod, Black Fox. I don't know him that well, but he's a veteran. Anybody else? Roy Rat, Recon. Anybody else? This is your informal invitation. Hit me up if you guys want to be a part of it. I don't know what we're gonna be playing yet. I'm not quite sure. I'm gonna talk that over with Wilkie because Wilkie's very passionate about veteran charities and stuff. So I'm gonna talk this over with him. He's probably more in tune with this than I am. I am a very basic man. I'm very bad at shooters and stuff. Maybe we'll do like a Battlefield Customs or something. I don't know. I don't know what we'll do. We'll do something. We're gonna do something fun. It's not gonna be meant to be competitive. It's gonna be meant fun where we're gonna give each other a hard time, make some laughs, raise money for a good veteran. Maybe I'll just do that too. Like each veteran can pick their own organization to raise money for, and I'll be doing it for the regiment charity organization. And I lost my train of thought really quick. Where I was going with this? Yeah, yeah, we're gonna be playing games together, and if we end up getting a large enough collection of veteran gamers on Rumble, specifically, I want Rumble streamers. By the way, I will open it up to non-Rumble streamers if we don't have enough people sign up, but mainly Rumble veteran streamers are actively serving if they're still serving. And during that stream, I will, if money allows, because I'm not going to have a paycheck for about 2 to 3 months, depending. Unless Rumble really kicks off before then, which I'm not expecting it to. I won't have a paycheck for the next 3 months after I retire. If I can afford it, I'm going to do a giveaway that stream too, and we will also be spending like I was thinking about every year. So I served over 20. I served 20 years. I'm not gonna act like I served over 20. I served 20 years. I was thinking about each year. I would tell a story about that specific year of my career. I might not do that. Honestly, I don't think there was anything that exciting every single year of my career. But I'm going to share stories throughout my career just to have fun, have a few laughs, have a good time. I'll encourage the other veterans to share stories if they want to. I'm not going to make them because some of them have PTSD, and there's obviously moments in their career that they don't want to share, and they may even want to kind of forget their career because it may not have gone well for them. So that's my plan after DreamHack. It'll be the weekend after, probably the weekend after DreamHack, unless something else happens that I'm not tracking. Because me getting another job is not off the books. It 100% is up to my disability rating and how well Rumble is working for me. Content create. I won't say Rumble. Content creating is working with me because I have the blurbs I make money with. Hi, baby bug. I have Rumble I make money with. I have my Fourth Wall merch store. I have donation link through Linktree. I can make money with. So there's other ways to do it. If I can make enough money, then obviously that would be. Then I will definitely continue working. So a lot of, but tentatively the weekend after our Dream Hack, I'll be doing a special event for my retirement, and hopefully Wilkie's available for it because I know he travels a lot for work. He was out for a week or 2 weeks recently for traveling. But we're gonna go ahead and wrap up the stream and give this beer a final rating. The lack of beer I drank, do not take that against the beer itself. It's probably one of my favorite beers in this episode. I'm almost willing to bet it's one of my favorite beers in the episode. The couple of reasons why I didn't drink as much. One, I had an empty stomach. I'm not trying to be trash before I get on for War Thunder, which I'll probably be getting on 30 minutes to 45 minutes after this ends, depending on if anybody calls in or not. And then we'll be joining FP, Synth Tracks, I think Gaming Chad, Tiny Panda Face, Oh Hi Mark. I'm trying to remember Jada. I don't know if Joe Cool's joining us tonight. I know he sometimes joins. I don't know if he's joining tonight. I don't know if Joe Cool's still there or not. We're going to be playing a I can't remember the racing game. I'm going to call it Mario Kart for adults. I think that's what we'll call it. It's a racing game. It's a combat racing game. It's obviously more for adults than Mario Kart is. I mean, granted, a lot of adults enjoy Mario Kart, Wilkie being one of them. So we'll be playing that at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But this beer, I give it a 6 out of 6. Absolutely. 6 out of 6. Absolutely delicious. The reason why I didn't drink as much, like I said, empty stomach, and I want to give my wife at least 2 cans for her to enjoy. You know what? Maybe 1 can. We'll see. Because I kind of want to crack this one open. So, to recap everything we talked about the National Guard movement. I mostly support Trump on that. As long as he doesn't go full retard with it and doesn't actually go authoritative. I don't think he will. However, he is human. He's not somebody fully trusted. Uh-oh. That was really a 30-minute segment. Holy crap. And I see my battery's almost dead, so I got to wrap this up real quick. Final thoughts. Like I said, we were talking about the National Guard movement. I'm going to talk really fast because I don't know how long that battery's going to last. National Guard movement, I support for the most part as long as he doesn't go authoritarian. He is human. He has let me down in the past, so he could still let me down again. He could go full authoritarian, and I could be not happy with that at all. But in the meantime, I do support him using the National Guard to get crime under control in these areas. And if need be, if these politicians and authorities in those areas refuse to do anything to continue decreasing crime in those locations, they absolutely should be arrested for supporting and enabling these crimes. Sydney Sweeney, I don't get women. I really don't get you. I guess that's the tales all the time is men not getting women. You guys support pornography, but you do not support somebody like Sydney Sweeney. Again, if you guys have been watching this entire time, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Dork and Erwin know exactly what I was talking about. What was the next topic? View botting on Rumble. Yes, it does happen on Rumble. Rumble, I do believe, is doing everything the best of their abilities to stop it. I do understand the criticism of Rumble doing it, and these people refuse to call it the other platforms for doing it. I guess Rumble's special in that regard. I do not support Rumble using an automated system to stop view botting because people are going to be unfairly targeted and be at false flag for that. But people may disagree with me on that. The other topic we talked about is the Get Wet rewards. I am up for a vote. Probably by the time this video is posted, the vote will be over. I am currently in round 2 and hoping to continue to round 3. I'm not holding my breath on that. We also had Red Rum Jenkins and Black Fox to also vote for. So if you guys don't see me continue, but one of those two or both of them continue to vote for them. They're both Rumble support creators and both veterans and going up for the vote. The next one we were talking about is DreamHack. DreamHack. I will be at DreamHack October 31st and only October 31st. Maybe show up the Friday before, may not. I'm going to be hanging out with Rumble creators mostly the Friday night if I do show up on Friday. And then the weekend after that, we're going to be doing a specialized streaming event for celebrate my retirement and raise money for veteran organizations with other veteran Rumble creators. The beer got a 6 out of 6. It's a delicious beer. Highly recommend the Terrapin Watermelon Gusa. I probably butchered that. It's a German term. It is a traditional German style beer brewed with sea salt and coriander. And this one is a watermelon flavor, which is sour. and has a nice watermelon Jolly Rancher aftertaste. If you guys enjoyed that, go ahead and check this beer out. My wife is going to absolutely love this one. And that is going to be it for this episode. This was one of the fastest outros because I think my battery's about to die. Guys, I appreciate you all hanging out with me. I'll catch you all in the next one, and let's grab a beer. All right, viewers, I see your ultra. What's up, buddy? How you doing, my man? I hope life is good with you. I gotta, yeah, I'm gonna go take a tinkle. But before I go to take a tinkle, this is what we're gonna do. Depending how this goes, it is almost 3 o'clock. Um, we're gonna do about 30 minutes of generalized viewer calls. If anybody wants to call in, all you have to have is a Rumble account and a microphone. You do not have to have a webcam. If you have a Rumble account and a microphone, you can be invited to call in. I don't really expect anybody to do that. I'm not going to be offended by this. This is a Tuesday afternoon on a work week, so you guys, a lot of you are going to be at work. If you guys do want to call in, that's the invite link that just dropped in chat for you all. Oh no, that was in private, so none of you saw that. Let me try that again. What's up, Galactic? What is up, Ultra? If you guys are not following Galactic and Ultra, even though he doesn't stream, drop him a follow. But if you guys want to call in, like I said, all you have to do is have a Rumble account and a microphone. You do not have to have a webcam. You do not have to stream on Rumble. All you have to do is click that link. For 30 minutes, we can talk about any of the topics I talk about. If you guys agree or disagree with what I talked about, if you want to bring up other points that I think you guys think I missed when I was talking about those topics, you can. Or if you got a completely different topic you want to talk about, you can also do that. If you are a creator, I will ask you to introduce yourself and promote your content. Then we'll move on to the next person that's been invited. If nobody calls in, this will be the end of the stream. If people do call in, we'll do it for about 30 minutes. After 30 minutes, I go to premium only. And if I can, we'll go for about an hour. If I cannot go for an hour, we'll go and wrap up the stream. And that will be it. And go from there. If nobody calls in, again, not offended. It's the middle of the work week. It's the afternoon of the work week. You guys are either at work, wrapping up work, or about to leave work. So, not offended if nobody wants to call in. That invite link I just dropped in chat, it should have dropped in Twitch and YouTube for all you guys that are watching on the other platforms. Again, if you don't have a Rumble account, you need to sign up for Rumble, and then you can join it. I'm going to go take a leak, and if nobody's in the waiting room, I'll get caught up in chat and do my live outro, and then we'll see you guys we'll see you not long after this for War Thunder. So give me a second, I'll be right back. Zeus, what's up, puppy? How you doing? Hi, puppy. All right, chat. Let's get caught up in chat. Is there anybody in the waiting room? I do not see anybody in the waiting room. I kind of expected that, but that's fine. Yeah, nobody's in the waiting room. So we'll get caught up in chat, and if nobody joins the call, we'll go and wrap up the stream. Again, guys, do not feel pressured to join the call. I do know, like I said, it is Tuesday afternoon. You guys are either at work, wrapping up work, or on your way home from work. Or you just got home from work, and you're like, the last thing I want to do right now is get on. No worries, Ultra. No worries at all. like I said, this is not to pressure anybody. I'm just stressing that it is open if you guys want to or are able to. So we'll go ahead and get caught up on the stream. I could do an ad read. I don't know how, but I can, but I'm not going to. We're going to save that for another time. I guess we'll go. Where is the scroll bar? The studios not have a scroll bar for chat? That's not what I want to do. Ultra accidentally highlighted your chat. If it does, it's my laptop has a shitty monitor, so it's really hard to see anything on it. So we'll go to the Rumble. Hopefully, I only saw Durham on YouTube talking and nobody else talking on the other platforms. I appreciate you, Durham, if you're still there, for coming on by. Let's get through all the chats. FP was in here earlier saying multitasking. Again, guys, if you want to vote for me and to get wet. I'm not expecting to win. Nothing against Kels, but I am 100% she's going to kick my ass in this vote. Granted, we only have 39 votes. I would absolutely love Get Wet to break another record with the military votes. So let's see if we can continue to do that. That would be awesome. On break, percussive maintenance. Yes, that's when I punched my laptop. Steven, I don't know if you're still there. You're probably not, because I know you do your graphic arts and you're getting ready to probably start your own stream shortly. He ranted for $2, so I owe him a 3-finger shocky for today's gaming stream. So we'll start off the gaming stream with that. He said, kind of gay beard needs a trim. My wife says that all the time. Not the gay part, but it needs a trim. Joe Cool never need an excuse to day drink. Absolutely, Joe Cool. Pint that looks like a pint and a half, or you just got a small hands. Like I said, this is, I believe, a 16-ounce glass. You can get yours going in the Aircon TV merch store. I don't have it in the description, so if you want yours, just check out one of my gaming streams. I think even one of my past Let's Grab a Beer episodes, I have it in the description. I forgot to include it this time. Actually, I think it's on my Linktree link. So you might be able to go by, click the link that way. And if you're a subscriber to any of my channels, whether gifted or self-subscribed, you get 15% off your order. So if you think about buying something and you know you're currently, as of right now, a subscriber, hit me up and I'll give you the discount code for that. Just make sure you tell me what your Rumble name is so I can make sure that you're subscribed under, so I can make sure to verify, because I'm not going to give that code just to anybody. We love some Terrapin here. Tons of microbrews near me. I'm an IPA and pale fan, though. Let me recommend Sugar Creek Brewing for one of your beers. We'll have to look for that. Joe Cool, if you're still there. If not, I'm going to have to hit you up probably next time we play a game together. Ask you what state Sugar Creek is located in. If it's Georgia, I should be able to find it. If the owner is a nuclear engineer, that's more than enough reason to buy it. Break is almost done. I need for Junior to stop by. I have a Brio 4K. Get one of those scene boards so you know where to clip. Yeah, I should do that too. 100% Pro 2A for American citizens only. I'm right there with you, Junior. Wait till you're 55. We made jokes about us getting old. Make sure to vote for Conda for the Get Wet Awards. He's up against a woman from Twitch. I want to stress, I think Kels is actually a very sweet girl, but I do have a lot stacked up against me in more ways than one. She has a 20,000 follower base on X. I don't know what it is on Twitch. She's an attractive woman. She looks like she's younger than me. And we'll leave it at that. I'll let you guys do your own research. Women are the reason why I have guy friends and very, very few female friends. Exactly. Erwin, I know you're probably not here anymore. We did enjoy a good conversation, the Sweeney conversation. Fuck. Scroll through. Third and fourth wave feminism, have no idea. I've already read this, but I'm going to read it again for everybody that may be just tuning in. Arwen, we were talking about the Sydney Sweeney situation, and Arwen commented with, third and fourth wave feminism have no idea what original feminism was about. They have twisted it into having an excuse to hate men, which I told my wife having this conversation about third and fourth wave feminism. We don't even know what current wave we're on right now. Is fucking things over for women. Arwen took it a step further and says it's just made to have an excuse to hate men, which is probably true too. My theory is this is all organized by men to get women to become sluts and porn stars so they can have something to jerk off to and cheat on their wives with about. They're getting because these men are getting exactly what they want with this third and fourth wave feminism, in my opinion. Only the fuckboys want this version of feminism. That's exactly what I was trying to say, dork. Conda, not just smart, Conda smart. Zeus is eating a walnut on my deck. I find it ironic that the early feminists were fighting for women to get out of prostitution. This is Arwen saying this again, etc. And yet modern feminisms have OnlyFans account anywhere. Ironic, isn't it? And so many women put their boyfriends slash significant others on blast when those boyfriends slash significant others tell them to take down their OnlyFans because they don't like it. I saw one post talk about how she goes, I told him, then are you going to pay my bills? I was like, no, I'm going to break up with you because fuck off. I'm not going to. If you think the only way I'm going to pay for your bills is for you to stop doing OnlyFans, that's bribing. You're blackmailing me. My wife doesn't want me wiggling my junk all over on camera, even if it made us $1 million. So why would I expect her to do the same thing? I already read that one. Our biggest flaw is our desire to sin. Human nature, absolutely, Junior. I agree with you. Christian doesn't mean you still don't sin. Exactly, dork. I read a lot of this already, but we're going through to make sure I don't miss anything. I have to pick up my son, but I'll check out the rest of the stream later. Y'all have a great day. Take it easy, Arwen. I know you're already gone, but I still appreciate you coming by, and I appreciate your input as well. Can confirm Kana gets kicked and bought every stream. Absolutely. Fucking pisses me off. Labeling ourselves as Christians means that we recognize our own faults and describe scriptures and do our best to correct our faults. Exactly, Junior. That is not an excuse for Christians to go out and sin, continually sin, though. They don't use that as a blanket to protect yourself. It's like those casual Catholics that say, I'm going to do whatever the fuck I want during the week, and then on the weekend I'm going to go do my Hail Marys, and I'll be perfectly fine. If Diver was here, she would absolutely love that, but that's not how this works. It's not how any of this works. I don't know if you guys remember the commercial. I can't remember what it was for, about the old ladies. That's not how this works. It's not how any of this works. Also good because we recognize that God, all three persons, has the authority over our lives. Absolutely, Junior. 100%. There are some Rumble streamers that view bot. There are absolutely Rumble streamers that view bot. I will not deny that. I will never deny that. Did someone say balls? Yes, Key Lime. We touch balls a lot, Key Lime. If you guys are not following the Key Lime Warrior, make sure you click the icon next to the name, drop and follow. I don't know if he's still here. He normally joins us, but again, this is in the middle of work week, so I don't expect anybody to join me today. But he's normally in here with us too. He's one of my frequent call-ins for this. Him and Goffo and ETN. I don't know what just happened. I lost a lot of my chat. I voted. Thank you, Dork Girl. I appreciate it. Sup, bro? American Ultra. So we're getting near the end. What's up, Galactic Galaxy? If you guys are not following Galaxy, make sure you click the icon next to his name and drop and follow. Is my pin message? It doesn't look like my pin message is there anymore for voting. I know we can win. We can win this. Absolutely can win this. Pin this message. There we go. We could win with the power of Rumble. I believe in us. We could win. We could beat its Kells. I'm being... No? Okay. So now we'll get to the bottom of this. Yeah, I'm special. Don't listen to them. I love your face handles. I know you do for other reason. I am stuck at work for another 3 hours. No, Dork, don't. Again, this is not to pressure any of you to call in. I'm just letting... And if anybody's able to and have the ability to, you can call in now. If you can't, it's not the end of the world. It actually allows me to end this stream and go ahead and get set up for the War Thunder / FP community stream. So don't worry at all. Oh yeah, I also was talking about what Steven said about my beard being gay and needing trims. I know you love my face handle. I'll try to miss you, buddy. Sorry I'm not joining you guys on Imperion. I'm sure that it's a great game, but I don't like handouts. I'm not a communist, and hopping in a game like that and having everything handed to me, and I don't get to do anything. It gets boring. It gets very boring for me. I would love to play a game with you again. I've actually thought about doing Helldivers again, Ultra. If you're up for that, I'd definitely be down for that. You are very special. It's looking. I do need to trim it. I need to do my oils and my cream again. Gay. Pause. I do need to maintain it a little better. I do trim my stragglers because they get in my eye, my peripheral vision, and it drives me off the wall, especially when gaming. And also, it's a grind game. It is, and I don't have time to do grind games anymore. As much as I like to, I do miss Ark. I would love to go back to Ark. I'm sure I'm going to go back to Ark. Maybe not Survival Ascended, unless they completely fix the game. I heard Beers lost the server because of their update broke everything. So Ultra, I will hit you up when you want to do Helldivers. Maybe not this Friday. I'm going to do something with my brother and my military friends. Like when I say military friends, these are friends I actually got stationed with and have interacted physically in person with. And then next weekend I'll do golf with everybody. And the weekend after that, Ultra. If you want to do some Helldivers, I'm sure my brother will be willing to join us on the Friday after that. Just let me know what time you're able to get on. But yeah, I think that's gonna be about it in the stream. We almost did 3 hours, and we're gonna do about 4 hours at least, maybe a little less than 4 hours today with the War Thunder / community racing adult Mario Kart with FP Synth Treks. Oh, hi Mark, JADA, Joe Cool. I don't know if you're still here. I think you're joining us tonight. I can't remember everybody that was listed. It's no offense to the people that I don't list when I talk about these events. It's just my brain sucks, and it's really hard to keep track of who's joining and who's not joining. I know obviously FP because he invited me. I know Hi Mark because I play with him all the time. I know GDA because we played with him last week. I know Synthrax because he made a post about it today, and I played with him last week. Congrats on what did he get? He hit 5K on Rumble, by the way. Congrats to him. I threw up a little bit in my mouth. But it looks like nobody in the waiting room, so we're gonna go to wrap up the stream. I really appreciate you all. Again, if you guys missed the entirety of the stream, only caught segments of the stream, I'm gonna do 2 things with the upload. One thing is gonna be the upload from start to finish with no interruptions, excluding the parts before and after the recording starts. So before I talk to the chat for a bit, then after I talk to the chat for a little bit more, as you guys can see live. So if you guys missed that, there will be the full episode uninterrupted posted, and then after that, I will also do what's called, I'm going to probably release them once a day. I don't know how this is my first time doing this. We're going to do the Let's Grab a Beer shots. And we're going to do each segment. So the first one will obviously be Trump and the National Guard. Next one will be Sydney Sweeney. The one after that would be View Botting. And then the Get Wets and Dream Hack together will be one segment as well. But I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. I hope to see you guys later tonight. Even if it's just a lurk and chat, that's completely fine. We're going to be doing some War Thunder, and then hopefully I don't get angry tonight. I'm in a pretty good mood. I don't feel exhausted, and I'm not wasted on alcohol. I'm comfortable with alcohol. So I should, in theory, not rage out in War Thunder tonight, except for an occasional outburst. But not as bad as I did last week. Unfortunately, it means I only play an hour with Amasaku, Blues Nut, JFG, or Just Morg, and Outlander today. By the way, Outlander kind of sounds like you, Ultra. Did you change your name and you're stalking me under another name? But yeah, I'll only do about an hour with them, then join at 7 p.m. Maybe only an hour with FP. I would love to do longer, but my wife had a long day today. And last week I did a lot of streaming while she was home. So this week I'm going to reduce the amount of streaming while she's home. So when she gets home, I'm at least going to 8 p.m. tonight. After 8 p.m., if she's home, I'm getting off for the night. But all right, guys, that's enough. That's it. I got to get the stream ready so I can get going with you guys as soon as possible because it is 3:14. I want to try to be live by 4 p.m. I know you don't have time for that. You're tired, Grandpa. That's too damn bad. But everybody, take it easy. I highly recommend this Terrapin Watermelon Gusa beer, especially if you like sours with a hint of watermelon. It is a malt beverage, by the way. And I'll catch you guys in the next stream. Let's grab a beer together sometime. Later.